All right. Good evening. Nasty NASDAQ. Holy cow, what is this? As I would normally say, Jesus Christ, what is all this nonsense? Man, this is all today? That's crazy. All right, so I got to fix all my levels. I just got here, so I have not even fixed any of this. Where's previous day low is all the way up here now. Good evening, Dustin Sharp, Skylar Steen, Jesse James. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? All right, let's see. What do we have here? 3 o'clock. Where's 3 o'clock? Here we go. So current overnight low is down here. Previous day close. Sorry, guys. I have not had a chance to do any of this yet. 159. Close was at 927. Leave it right there for now. Previous day high. Current overnight high. Previous day high was right here. Oh no, wait a minute. The high that they tried to scare everybody. All right, that's previous day high and overnight high. There we go. All right, I think we got it set up now. Overnight low, previous day high. We had the flush. All right, so looks like we're consolidating down here. All right, looks like that's what we're dealing with right now. Okay. All right, good evening, Nicolas Gomez. Bonjour, bonjour. The man from Paris. Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas Animal Rescue. I passed my Topstep Combine. Congratulations. And day 2 of trying to make 150 or 5 days in a row. Nicely done. Skylar, man, I want to trade so bad, but my take profit account won't open till Friday. Pass the challenge. Good, man. Passing the challenge. It's solid. Congratulations. All right. What do we got here? We got some nasty chop. Man. It flushed and then it just chopped all day. Wow. So we're in a 40, 50 point chop zone. Ugh. Man, that's ugly. I don't know if I'm going to trade this. That is ugly. Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas. You are Animal Rescue. 150 bucks down. Yeah, I mean, with this chop, this is nasty. So be careful. It's been playing out since after that major move down. The question is, are the bears going to continue this tonight? Or are we going to get some type of bounce? We're right in the middle of a range, so I'm staying out until we get either down here or up here. Chris Peters is long. Dustin Sharp, check gold. It's been juicy. Jesse James, congrats, guys. My dumbass wouldn't let go of my long this morning. Added it to a couple times. Ouch. Then poof, half my eval is gone. Yeah, this fake out was crazy. I caught that short, but this was a crazy fake out right here. And then it just flushed. So now I'm debating reset or punish myself. I mean, you're going to reset anyways. Depends on how bad the tilt was. If it was bad, take a day off, come back Thursday or Friday. I would say if the tilt was manageable, then reset them. You're going to reset them anyways. But if the tilt was bad and, you know, you ended up spending the rest of the day thinking about it, then take the day off. Let the mind cool off. Sometimes it's not blowing the accounts. It's just letting the mind get off thinking about it. Oh, Jesse, yeah, that seems like a tilt moment. So listen, give yourself a break. Maybe talk tonight. Don't trade it. Either way, this is nasty chop. This is deadly chop. I don't even know if I want to trade this. Wow. I traded this morning and I got this short and that was it. I closed it up and I didn't look at the charts. I'm looking at them right now as I set up all the levels. This is nasty. Whoa. And that was for the rest of the day from 9 a.m. my time. No, forget it. From 8:15 my time all the way through the close. Nasty chop. That's when you walk out. Yeah, I'm glad I got out. But Jesse, sounds like you probably just need to chat tonight. Stay off the trading. Yeah, you went through all the emotions, brother. Oh, man, I wish I had known. I would have called you earlier. Pissed at the market, then depressed, then pissed at myself, then depressed. All right. Yeah, man, those are the emotions. We all go through that, right? We've all been there. But it sounds like you need to take a little break, brother. Maybe hop on the stream tonight and just chat away. Talk it out instead of trade it out. This is nasty. We're right in the middle of the range, so I got to wait for a stronger pullback. I'm not going to gamble it tonight. This is ugly chop. Ugly. James, Jesse, yeah, it's best if you just give yourself a day. Especially if you went through emotions and it was bad. Dude, nothing like just taking a day off and get your mind off the charts. Caveman! But we know you're going to come back stronger. We know you. You're a good trader, remember that. Emotions will always get us. Caveman, we went all the way down to 890 today. And it's not so much what we did that we went all the way down there. It's what we did afterwards. Look at this nasty chop. Oh. And the overnight is not any better. We moved to the top of the range, came back to the middle. I can't trade this until we touch some of these levels down here. So it looks like we're going to be talking a lot tonight. Jesse, if you want to chat, man, and you want to hop on and get your mind off of things, let me know, man. Happy to put you on. That way you're not thinking about trading or anything like that. AVL holding pattern for tomorrow news. Oh, that's right. Tomorrow's PPI. We got to gamble tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow we gamble. That's right. PPI, baby. Look at that. Tomorrow's the casino is 10x, baby. Make a lot of money or blow a lot of money. Yep, PPI tomorrow. Wow, all right, that should be fun. So in that case, we remember, if you guys remember, the day before CPI, it was really slow. So tonight looking like a chat night. Maybe we'll have a lot of conversation tonight. By looking at this, I'm in the middle of a range. I'm not interested until we get down here or up here. So let's make sure you guys have a lot to talk to tonight because we're going to be bonding. Kumbaya, baby. A lot of kumbaya tonight. But Jesse, bro, yeah. Last thing you want to do is trade it, brother. All right, Jesse, let's get you how we take care of each other. In general, it's always good to have your trading buddies, people you talk to when things go downhill. I've had my downhill days, and I always look for people to talk to. You need to talk it out, because staring at the ceiling and blaming yourself ain't going to help. And I'm talking in general, Jesse, not just you. I've been there. And the first thing I do is talk to you or other people. So hold on, guys. Let me get this stuff ready over here. Caught me off guard. Tonight we're going to be here for Jesse. Hold on. Hold on, guys. All right. Video. Hey, brother, can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, perfect. Let me bring you in. Where is Jesse? Okay, here we go. Jesse, welcome to the stream.
What's up, everybody?
All right, man. So it looks like you got a nasty one today, huh? You got bit by the market?
Yeah. Well, it's not the first time, probably won't be the last time, but yeah.
Want to walk us through it? Let's just chat. I mean, it's always good to talk about stuff versus forcing yourself into trades. So what happened? Did it happen during the open or afterward?
Let me turn on my cursor here. Let's see.
Mind a little bit.
Okay. No problem. Testing. You guys got me now?
Ron.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so I'm looking at timestamps here. Actually, I had one successful trade this morning. I forgot about that. Yeah, so I started up $258, and that was a long. And then we kind of drifted down, and I got long again at 24,015. We had pulled, it was a nice little pullback down to, I think it tapped VWAP and bottom of my channels, and I was like, yeah, here we go. This one's going to be big if they're going to run it back up there to the high, because the high at the time was 24,068. That would have been a real big trade. So anyways, got long. It went up a little bit, but then it flushed down, and I was like, oh, I should have taken my whatever it was, $150, whatever. And then it just kept going and going and going. I added, and then I added again, and then we got a little bit of a bounce off of the open. Added again, and then poof, flushed, boom, poof, all the accounts gone.
Oh man, sorry to hear
that was nasty NASDAQ. I was over here sounding like you.
You know what? You know what the funny thing is? I even called it early this morning. This is going to be a repeat of 2 Thursdays ago.
Yeah,
right?
I remember you saying that, and I was thinking to myself, should I just take? Because at that moment, I was only down $700, right? And keep in mind, these accounts were up 7,500. I was that close to passing these evals, and I was
Right.
like, do I just take the $700 hit? Because I was agreeing with you. I was like, this ain't looking good. This ain't looking good. And then, it's the emotions kick in. You're like, no, I got this. I'll show the market.
And
I'll show you.
hold on, I think they're telling me they can't hear me. Guys, can't hear me? Hold on. Oh, okay, they can. Okay. You guys are probably a little delayed, so why don't you hit the live button on the YouTube stream or on your phones? Hit the live button. That'll get you closer to real time. Closer, not real. All right, cool.
Sweet. Yeah.
All right, well,
I
today,
keep rewinding.
yeah, today was. You're not sharing your screen, so let me show. I guess this morning what happened for anybody that wasn't on the stream this morning, trading this morning. This was the open. Oh, I remember now, right? Remember, I had a brutal flush, so I was short. To be fair, I was short biased on this, and I entered here. I hit market order at 645, between 645 and 650. This is how aggressive that move was. This was the laziest. Hold on. This was the laziest market order I've seen. I never have problems with Quantower. This order was lazy as F. I entered, I remember this. I was at 645, 650 because I was targeting the current overnight high at the time. So I said, I'm going to enter on a short at 645, 650. It flushed me down to 630. My market order, I lost 10 or 15 points on this trade just on entering. And I said it on the stream. I was like, oh boy, it is what it is. I'm going to have to deal with it. I'm already 10 points below. I think it was like 10 or 15 points below where I wanted to enter. So I dealt with it. I had to deal with all of this whiplash before it finally flushed. But the good thing, I said to myself, listen, you can't base it on that 630, the lousy 630 entry. I had to mentally tell myself, I entered at 645, 650, base the trade on that. The trade based on this entry was ugly, but I knew that something happened. That was the laziest market order I've ever had on Quantower. I never have issues with Quantower. This time I literally saw it. I pressed the button market and the order literally came in down here. I'm like, what? You got to be kidding me. Anyways, I dealt with it. But after we saw this candle, this was the indicator of the direction. This was a 54 all the way down to 17. That was a 40.1 minute candle to the downside. This was the candle that decided the day. In other words, anybody longing up here, and I don't know where you entered, Jesse, but anybody longing up here, hoping for the break to all-time highs, was flushed right here. This was the out. This was a brutal candle. That was 40 points. Crazy.
Yeah, I entered when it tapped VWAP, so right around 12, so 24,012-ish.
Oh, okay. So you weren't that bad. In other words, you didn't you didn't get caught up here. You got caught somewhere around here. Okay, got it. Oh, I see. This touched VWAP and it was the bounce. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. It touched the 200 SMA. VWAP was right here because I was watching it. I was like, ooh, that could be the bounce for Oblivion. Yep. And it was another fake.
Yep, and at the time, that was right in the blue zone of my channels. The channels were pointed up. It's my perfect trade setup. I got the signal. I got the order flow. Everything was perfect. And it did go up. Mm-hmm. I mean, I should have got out of that, but my mindset was we're going to go run the high again.
This was this was a 20-point bounce right here on VWAP, right here.
Yeah.
20-point bounce.
I didn't take it. I didn't take it because I thought we were going to go back up and run the high, and I held it. And then when we came back down, where did I add? I added again at 966 because we started getting a little bit of a buy pressure right there. Huh? And then it flushed a little bit more down to the open. And then way down here, I added again at 939, and then we kind of went sideways for a little bit
Oh,
there.
that's right. Boom. And then
It was building up some hopium, and then
boom. Yep. This was Thursday 2 weeks ago. This is where this is a similar price action. That's why today I said, listen, I'm not going to make the mistake. I'm not going to try to long a falling knife, because I did it. I blew all my accounts two Thursdays ago.
So those evals, what was depressing about it is those evals are blown up and gone, and they had like $3,300 in profit, still, because I hit the daily loss limit on all, or not, I hit the max loss limit on all of them, but I had, $7,500 in there. So it's tough when you lose an eval when you're that far into it, but
I mean, listen, we've all been through that.
Yep, you win or you learn, right? There's no losing.
Nope, that's it. It's a learning lesson. I learned these channels. I stay away. I ran for the hills after I got this winning trade. I ran. I haven't traded anything since. And then look at this chop, man. Staying away. This is nasty chop. Look at that. How long is that chop been going?
After those evals blew, I loaded up on just the Sim 101 account in NinjaTrader, and then it ripped up, and I took my $9,000 of profit on paper money, and kind of set myself up for at least feeling okay about it the rest of the day.
Right.
Oh man, crazy! But I haven't even looked at the market for the rest of the day, so this is my first time looking at the.
Yeah, same here. It's been some ugly chop. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I'm not even interested until we get out of this range. So like
it played that range pretty nicely, up down all day long. It looked like.
I mean, if you were a range trader, you made a lot of money today. Look at this, boom, 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 short highs, long lows.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, I would strongly recommend not trading, maybe even through PPI tomorrow, but. Especially when we go through those really bad emotions, that's trading. I've been there, man. I know the feeling. It sucks.
It reminds me of there's a movie, I forgot what it's called, but there's an Adam Sandler movie. You guys remember that, where he's in a Bed Bath and Beyond and he falls asleep on the bed, and it turns out the whole movie is just a dream while he's taking a nap on the bed. There's a character in there where he goes, "Will you be my friend?" Reminds me of myself today.
Jesse,
click. There you go.
Jesse, if you don't mind, I'm going to step out for 1 second. I'm doing some ribs. I just got to get them out.
Yep.
And stay on. Stay on. Feel free to chat.
Gotcha. Yeah, maximum strength. Click. Yeah, remember when the Bed Bath & Beyond employee said, "Will you be my friend?" Oh, man. That was me today. That was me today, boys. So what's up, everybody? Nick Gomez, Caveman, AVL, MP, good to see ya. Oracle's Flame, good to see ya. Everybody hit that like button. Hit that like button. 51 of us here. All right. Jimmy trades. Yeah, sounds like he's making ribs. Click. Yeah. Oh man. Well, the good news is I passed those Apex accounts was that last night? I think that was last night. So I got 10 Apex accounts, but I'm gonna just hang out for a bit and let things calm down. Jimmy's short from 927. Nice short. Look at it go. Look at it go. It feels like it wants to run the lows there. Let's see what happens. MP, if I had to guess, I wouldn't have a bias right now. I think it's still playing that same exact range. If you scrunch your charts up, you'll see that it's been ping-ponging the same exact range pretty much, all day since it flushed down. And it looks like, now technically it just made a higher, it made a higher high up there. And this could potentially be a lower or a higher low. Yeah, actually I'm looking back. Yeah, so technically we have made 1, 2, 3 higher highs and 1, 2, and this could be the third higher low, I guess. But it's still within this same range. So roughly that yellow box that JC's got drawn out.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back, sir.
Oh man, I'm feeling for you, brother, but it happens to all of us. We come back stronger.
Oh yeah, I'm over it. What's up, Traders Bait? Good to see you.
Peter of Garis, greetings from Athens, Greece. Oh man, from paradise. Wow, that's one of the countries on my to-do list. Greece.
Sweet. Boss for life. What's going on? Good to see you.
Jimmy trades. He's short 927. That was a good entry on the targeting the bottom of that range.
Caveman says, "What are you going to do differently so this isn't a reactance?" Probably nothing. To be honest with you, probably nothing. I need to get better at cutting my losses. So when I was down $700 on that trade, I should have killed it right there. That's what I'm gonna try to do differently. Damn it.
Yeah, it's a lesson, but it doesn't mean you got to change everything.
Yeah, I can't.
It's fine tuning.
Yeah.
Biggest mistake is, I got to change it all up. No, you've been profitable. No. You're a great trader. You've been profitable doing it. There's just little tweaks, and for most of us, even including myself, it's how do you cut losing trades sooner? Take the red day. It's something about, this is why maybe I should start sharing this. This is why I'm reluctant to get into the habit of flexing wins, P&L, because you start falling victim to it. What do I mean by that is you become a slave to your own P&L. How many times have you been like, or how many times have I, let's say, had 6 or 7 days in a row, and all of a sudden I'm $400, $500 in the red. Something inside of us triggers us to say, no, we got to show up with a positive P&L just because. It's like a rule in our heads. And you refuse to walk out with $700. I can't tell you how many times I have blown accounts or taken a major loss, 2,000 plus, simply because I couldn't just walk out with $700 loss. And then after you blow your accounts or your 2,000 or 3,000 in the red, then you're like, God damn it, it could have been just $700. Why can't I take it? Right?
That's right. Yeah.
It's mind-boggling, but it's our minds. It's our minds falling slave to P&L, to our flexing, our personal flex. It doesn't mean you are flexing with everybody else. It's our personal flexing. Like, for some reason, I have to walk out, turn off everything, and know that I have $500, $600, whatever it is. I can't mentally accept, at a negative $700 day. Meanwhile, walking out with a $700 day in the red could be the best thing you could have done that day instead of walking out with 2,000, 3,000, because it's happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd much rather see red 700 rather than red 7,500.
Yep. It's the lesson we keep telling ourselves. I gotta fix this. And it takes over. Logic mind, cutting loser quickly also means you can get wicked out a lot more. Yeah, it's it's a balance. You guys, I'm sure a lot of you probably watched my training. Like, what is this guy doing with no stop? It's because I'm tired of getting wicked out. And not saying that's financial advice. It's probably the worst thing you want to do. But sometimes there's something called a stop hunt run. And if you're at levels where you can potentially get wicked out on a stop hunt run, you're right. It's the balance. Cutting your losers quickly, but I do think you got to have a number where it really just means you got to cut it here. Otherwise, you'd let it escalate. And I've you guys saw this live 2 Thursdays ago. I kept exponentially growing my loss, trying to long a falling knife, refusing to accept I was wrong.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, it's very similar to what I did this morning where, so I kind of have a mental stop, like $750 is about the most that I try to lose, right, on a trade.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the big but, and this is where I got to get better. If we're approaching that $750 and there's a significant level right there, I keep telling myself, well, we're going to bounce from there. And then we don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you convince yourself, oh, but there's the open. Maybe we'll bounce from there.
There's the next level, and then the next
There's
level.
the next. So
Yep.
it's easy to fall into that. Okay, all right, I'll just hold it to that level and then that level and then that. And before you know it, it goes sideways on you. So yeah, I mean, I'm like you. I like to give it a little breathing room because I don't like to get stopped and then see it go without me. So
yeah, today was a good example on my trade. I mean, although I had entered the market order entered, I mean, that was the laziest market order entry I've seen on Quantower. I've never had that issue. But besides the point, I took drawdown. Had I had a aggressive stop, I would have missed the whole play. And it's that balance. It's hard to balance. How wide is your stop? Is it $1,000? With NASDAQ lately on minis, it could be $1,000.
So somebody was in this short ran gap and said, should I kill it? Probably should have. Hindsight's always 20/20, but it looks like it's trying to push a little bit here.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, I think it's still going to keep playing this range. I mean, if you just look back at the price action, we've been in this same range for...
This is the build up, the calm before the storm, before PPI tomorrow. PPI or CPI? PPI.
At least it's a decent sized range. You can make some money playing this.
Until it breaks out of the range and you're in the wrong direction.
That's right. You got to be quick to kill it when you're trading the range. That's for sure. Okay, you closed it. Good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait till some of these tops or extreme lows before I enter a trade. I'll play the range, but I need the higher entries. Middle in the middle, you get burned out. I mean, quick scalps, yes, but pretty choppy. Caveman, I may stop trading Asia and go back to only trading the AM session. I don't know how I feel. I've been okay during Asia. I haven't had let me knock on wood. I don't want to even say that. I think Asia lately, correct me if I'm wrong, Jesse, has been very forgiving, right? The price action is, even if it's going against you, you're probably getting 10, 20 points. And
yeah,
it's as long as you're not in a critical bad position, it's not that brutal. It's been forgiving, in other words.
Yeah, so there's an angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other with Asia session, because here's the problem. Yes, it's slower, right? So you would think you got much more time to figure out that you're on the wrong side of a trade, right? But the problem with that is it lets that, like the issue I had this morning, it lets that creep in a little bit where you're like, it's not going to get too far out of hand. And then before you know it, 3 hours has gone by and you're down $1,000. So it's easy to get pulled into that slowness as a benefit when really it can be a hindrance also. Now, I will say this. I've never taken a massive loss or blown accounts during the Asia session. I have done that many times during the New York sessions. So.
Right. New York is where the good, the bad, and the ugly happens, for sure.
But Caveman, I've thought that too. In fact, it was I think last week I was talking to my wife, she trades also, and we both kind of agreed, you know what, we're not going to trade at night anymore, because we hate to get stuck in a trade
2 hours
and wait to play out for 2-3 hours, and then you look back on it and you're like, I could have just scalped this and did 15 trades and made $800. So we don't like that feeling of like, man, look at all the action we missed waiting for this one trade to play out. And so we were thinking that, but then you know, I like hanging out here with you guys and JC, and we, you know, we see a lot of people showing up for JC here. In fact, what do we got? 54 people already. So it's fun to hang out with the community, and then, you know, before you know it, you get pulled into a trade, of course.
No trading tonight, Jesse. That's the rule. Gotta give
No,
your
I haven't even
gotta give
activated.
your mind 1 hour, 1 day break at least.
That's right. No, I got those PAs passed. What was that? Last night, I think. I didn't even activate them yet. I got the emails from Apex when the market closed today, and I haven't signed them yet. I'll probably sign them tonight and then maybe pay for them tomorrow. We'll see.
Getting a little ripper here, huh? Look at this. Tempting to hop on FOMO, chase that long there.
Yeah, if you're gonna scalp it just to VWAP, I would tend to agree with it, but
That's what, 7 points? No, I can't do it.
I don't know if we're gonna get any more than that.
Nope.
We'll see. We'll see. But you're right. You mentioned something earlier about just being range bound until the big news. I think you're spot on.
Well, that's what happened. When was last week? CPI, right? The night before, it was just literally standstill. We ended up talking a lot too. The Oracle's Flame. I dig it. Going to keep trying to catch it when you're on. Good vibes.
Sweet.
Sweet,
Yeah.
man. Welcome to the stream.
That's how I felt too. Long time ago. I've been pestering JC to do live streams for quite a while, right, buddy?
You have. I've been hiding from live stream for a while. The YouTube channel was dedicated to futures, prop firm drama, updates, and trying to be a little controversial with some of the comments I make on certain prop firms. And but that takes a lot of editing, a lot of AI. Some of you probably have met Courtney on the videos. And live streaming, there's no editing, just done 1 hour or 2 hours and let the video stay. But I do got to get back to the core of the YouTube channel to make more videos on prop firms. But honestly, I've been busy with the live streams that I just haven't had time. As soon as I finish trading, I don't want to turn the computer on. I want to enjoy the rest of the day, especially after New York session. I usually try to be done within an hour or two, and I literally am done within an hour or two. I don't trade. You look most of my charts. This was the trade this morning. That was a beautiful trade. That was, 40, 45 points. I walked out. I don't turn it on anymore, and that was it. Done. Now I'm back here, but we're in the middle of the range. We'll see. But yeah, you definitely talked me into the live stream, especially during the Asia session. I'm surprised I've stuck with it this long, to be honest. I thought it was going to be one of those, I'll hop on Monday, then come back Thursday. To be fair, I think this is what, week 2 or week 3 every day?
Yeah, I think as far as the Asia session goes, yeah, you've been doing the New York a little longer. I think what it is you start to build. So when you drop videos, those are great. And you I'm sure you read through the comments and you have a blast with that. But when you're live, there's something to be said about the interaction with the community and the folks that show up every day. And, you know, you start to build friendships and stuff.
100%,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. It kind of pulls you in and makes you want to do it every day.
Caveman, what do you do after you are done in the AM session? If it's one of those mornings that I woke up tired as it is already, I'll go back to sleep for an hour or two. Because remember, I'm in Arizona time, so the open for me is 6:30 a.m. That means I got to wake up at 5:30, 6 a.m. every day, Arizona time for the New York Open. So if I'm done within the first hour, I usually try to either catch an hour or two extra sleep or hang out in the house, do a little bit of work, and about it.
Nick says he comes here for the funny comments. Me too, Nick. I love it when JC drops the Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Jesse laughs at me when I say Jesus. If you guys haven't noticed, when I'm on tilt or really in a bad trade or a bad situation, you'll hear me go, Jesus Christ, what is this thing doing?
Or when it's extremely slow, when you're in a trade and it slows way down on you, that's when you drop it also.
Yeah,
Love it.
I'm sure you guys have noticed I'm very impatient. Like the easy win, lose, or draw. I like the easy. I want to know if I'm right or wrong pretty quickly. That's why Asia, I got to build. That's what I do like about Asia, is it helps you build
Patience.
longer patience. Today, like, to be honest, today's trade in the morning, that was a patience play. I was only in the red for probably the first 4 or 5 minutes. After that, it was how patient was I going to be to ride the green?
I'd have to go back and rewind it, but I feel like I remember getting a feeling from you. I don't know if you said it out loud or not, but I felt like you almost killed that trade a couple times.
Yeah.
You were mad because you got slipped, and then it went against you, and then I think you were about to kill it.
Yep, right up here.
Flush.
Because you got to remember, this is my entry right here at 6:35. I hit market order, and I said it live stream, I'm going in right now. That was at 6:45, 6:50 around here. I lost 10 points just on, what's it called? Slippage or whatever you want to call it, lag.
Yeah.
And how many times did it top this area where I said, listen, 670 is my mental stop. I'll have to get out up here. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. And then you had the flush down here all the way back up. I said, damn, this is it. They're really going to push this up. That's going to be the 15-minute opening range breakout play. And I said, I'm horrible position. But the position, what I kept telling myself was, you entered at 6:45. Whatever Quantower did to you, don't let that throw you off. That means I only took about 10, 15 points of drawdown. But yeah, once we got the relief candle, this 40-point red candle, then I was like, all right, I'll probably survive this. But that was one of those where there was a lot of whiplash back and forth.
I see where you killed that trade too, and it's like, obviously it's hindsight. That would have been double the size of that trade had you held it.
Look how much more red there was to this. Look at that.
Yeah, and I think you made $1,000 right there, though, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, it could have been 2K. Could
have been 3K. Look at that.
Yeah. So Caveman says, at what point do you and the chat? Yeah, so chat, chime in too. When do you know the trade is no longer valid? Well, for me, what my wife and I are trying to teach ourselves to do is let's say we get into a long, and it's taking forever to play out. We haven't taken our profits, and we start setting like lower highs and lower lows, and the channels, my linear regression channels, start to kind of flatten out, and heaven forbid they even start pointing downwards. That's time to pull the plug on the trade for sure. Am I good at doing that? No. Evidence is this morning's trade, but we're trying to get better at doing that. I don't have significant levels and things like that like JC's got, but I'm trying to work that into my charts.
At what point do you both know? So first of all, there's something I do have to work on, and I don't know if I'll be able to break that barrier because it's worked for me. It's having a hard stop loss. I mean, you guys have seen me both in New York and the Asia session. I love the freedom of not trading with a set stop loss. I have a mental stop loss. The problem with mental stop loss is if you're strict, then you're fine. You know, you have that area you want to clip it. But what happens when you're in drawdown is you start making changes to your mental stop. And you're like, oh, okay, they got me. They trapped me here. That means the bounce is going to happen 20 points further down. I'm going to take that drawdown and it should bounce there. I'll make a decision there to clip it. Well, now you're in $1,000 drawdown. Example, whatever you trade, it could be 400, it could be 300, whatever your drawdown is. Let's say for me, most of the time it's now I'm $1,000 down. I've made a mental change to my stop from, let's say, 700, negative 700 now down to 1,000. And then you guys have seen it. I'm making that change on live most of the time. Oh, okay. We got another level below this. I think that's where the bounce is. I'm going to take that drawdown and then I'll have to make a decision. So now I've moved it twice. Again, it's something I got to work on. That was the long answer to Caveman's question. The answer is your first mental stop. That's where you got to clip it. The minute you start moving around things, that's when things go bad. Yes, it could work in your favor, but you get rewarded for the wrong action. And then you think you can do it again and again and again until one time doesn't work, and now you've blown your accounts.
That's right. The one time it doesn't work is enough, right? Hey, would you mind rewinding or pulling your chart back? I want to see, just for example, do you still have your previous levels on there that you had drawn out the previous night? Or no?
I have that on my other chart, so hold on.
Because I'd like to see how many levels we blew through on this flush down, right? Because I would have been telling myself, well, we got this level, now we got this level, now we got this level, and it blew through all of them. Yeah,
this is why I trade. I'm getting better. Today was a really good day on that. Hold on. Let me bring in. What is this here? This one right here.
That's right, Oracle. The psychological aspect of it is the toughest part, I think, for most people. I mean, I think it's built into us. We just don't want to take a loss.
So this is the levels chart that I use. This is all busy, so I'd rather use the simpler one. But this is today's trade. This was the original entry, right? Like I said, I got the entry at 6:30. That was some lag. I know I clicked at 6:45, 6:50. But I targeted the level. Then I said, all right, they look like they're going to flush to the next level. Rich, if you look at each level, there's consolidation, right? The level came here, consolidated, went to the next level, consolidated, went to the next level and consolidated, and that's where we're at. Now we're in between these two levels all day. So yeah, you went through 3 levels, 3 1-hour levels. These are 1-hour levels. And then the red down here is a 4-hour level.
So what's funny about that is you see when it got close, when it hit all those levels, it hesitated and you got a little bit of a bump out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the spots. It's funny, I don't even have levels, but those are the exact spots based on order flow alone is where I added to the trade, thinking, okay, here we go. And then it dropped to the next level. I added again, here we go. And then it dropped way down there and I was out.
Yep.
So
NASDAQ.
Yeah, that's what she'll do.
Hold on, let me build my mind here again. Part of my.
So Jimmy got this morning from 994 down to 923. Nice.
Nice.
Wow.
This morning, the 15-minute opening range breakout was to the downside, right? Without originally playing for it, I ended up being in a 15-minute opening range breakout play to the downside. Right? Today's 15-minute opening range breakout to the downside. Nice play. Whoever played that one.
Chris, will she retest the high today? You know what? It's funny you mentioned that, Chris. I'm looking up at my 15-minute chart, which the only indicator it has on it is the FVG from NinjaTrader, fair value gaps, and we are inching our way into a pretty good-sized red fair value gap right above us. So it's usually the NASDAQ likes to take those out, so I would assume we get up to at least 950, which is the top of it, roughly 950. I know that's not the high of the session, but I can see 950 at least if we get another push here.
Where are we now? Okay, so it's pushing.
We're right at VWAP right now, though, so it's kind of rejecting off of VWAP right now. Yeah, exactly, Chris. If we start seeing some volume here, well, okay, now the buyers are trying to buy it back up, so we might get that push to 950. I don't know about the pivot point or the high of the session. They're both right up there. So the pivot point is 960. The high is 964.
Christopher, with PCI tomorrow. Yeah, this is what happened last week with CPI. It was literally dead. So I don't know. We'll see. We're in the middle of a range, so I don't fiddle in the middle. I'll have to wait for something up here or down here to make decisions. Chris Peters. It looks like it wants to test the top of that range. The entry was down here, though.
Oh, there's a strong push of buying volume right here. Yeah, they're pushing back up through VWAP.
They're pushing. Bulls are not letting go. Best DJ in town, JC, do you expect people? Yeah, tomorrow's going to be, I mean, I'll be trying to trade it at 6:30 a.m. Sorry, 5:30 a.m. Usually you get an initial 100 point reaction to the newsprint, and then you let that settle and try to play it. But tomorrow should be volatile, just like CPI. Now,
yeah, that's early for me.
Now, I won't blindly play PPI or CPI. I'll wait for the print and then make decisions. But unless I'm gambling an eval, YOLO, baby. Do you think you could make a video on when the trade is no longer valid? Yeah, Caveman. Maybe what you can help is what do you find challenges with? I guess calling it quits on a trade. Tyson Hall. We were just talking about this. Do any of you guys get horrible fill positions for Rhythmic? I'm thinking about dumping Quantower for Ninja. Listen, I have not had any issues with Quantower and Rhythmic until today, this morning during the open. It sounds like you just joined, so I'm sorry for everybody who already heard the story. But if we go back to today's trade, if you watch this morning's, you don't have to watch the live stream this morning. But this was the short. This is the open. This is 6:30 a.m., 6:31. I said I'm watching for, at that time, it was either overnight high or previous day high. I was watching for this level. And I said, I'm going to enter at 645, 650. I literally said, okay, I'm entering here. When I entered, that was 645, let's call it between 645 and 650. The entry, though, and I was shocked, you guys saw it live, gave me 633. I lost 12 points on the entry just because of, I don't know, a laggy market order. Granted, the trade worked in my favor, but I could have caught in 10, 15 extra points on that trade. Had Quantower, and I'm going to blame Quantower and Rhythmic. Today was the first time in a long, long time, though. You guys know me. I've been a Quantower advocate for quite some time. I've never had issues. Just don't have issues with Quantower until today's live stream. I had a 645 entry here. 45 entry, and it gave me 33. Right, granted, that's 1 minute into the open, so that is very volatile. You're going to have issues with fills. This fill, this bad, 15 points, I've never had a fill that bad. Usually a couple points, maybe 3 points, but this was almost 12 points where I hit market order short. It filled me at 633. Brutal. But I'll be fair, that was within the first minute of the open. You're exposing yourself to that type of market order lag. But I love Quantower. I will say that. I'm a huge advocate of Quantower.
And then for me personally, I have never used Quantower, but I did used to use all Rhythmic accounts, and when they had some issues about a year and a half ago, I switched to Tradeify, and I immediately noticed a difference. Not in the fills, not in the slippage, but the difference was how snappy. I don't know. For those of you that have experience with NinjaTrader, you know how it says order filled, and then order target filled, that type of stuff. For me, it was a noticeable difference on how snappy the entries and the exits were. Not talking slippage, but just the actual experience, the user experience of it all. it was kind of enlightening. I was like, whoa. It's like putting a K&N air filter on your car and you get an extra 3 horsepower, but you can feel it in the seat of your pants, right?
Well,
subtle, but it was there, the difference between Tradeify and Rhythmic at the time. Now, I haven't used Rhythmic for a year and a half, so I don't know.
oh wow.
But
Yeah, I today was the first time on Quantower. I have not had issues for over a year, Quantower and Rhythmic. But I will say, you trade the first minute of the New York Open, you're exposing yourself to that type of slippage, and it's fair game. Now, if that happens tomorrow at, let's say, 9:45 Eastern, or, you know, when there's no news event, then, or an open, there's a different story. But technically, if you try to get in a position 1 minute into the open, you're asking for trouble, and fortunately, it wasn't that bad. It ended up working out in my favor. Hold on, I want to go back to Rangap Boy. Congratulations, brother! First payout, first ever payout, 1K, bro. Don't minimize that. That's huge.
That's huge. Good job.
Yeah, first payout, 1,000. Nicely done. I know I got to go back to, Caveman, I got to go back to you. So you asked for a video on knowing when to call it quits. I guess, what struggles are you finding with your trading that you're not knowing when to call it quits?
Tyson had to panic flatten a trade this morning that was plus 800 but closed with a loss of 450. Wow, that's a pretty big
yeah, today it happened live on my live stream. It was only 15, well, still pissed about it. That would have been a 55-point trade, winning trade for 55 points. I still walked out with nice green, but I do know I said 645, I'm entering here, and when I saw that market order, it was literally like a second or two. The funny thing is, I was watching Quantower, and it's not like it filled immediately. You know when you enter, when you click on market order, and then all of a sudden you're waiting, and 1, 2, and then you see the fill? I was like, what? What just happened here? But it is what it is.
Yeah, so Tyson, what I will say is that sounds like from JC's experience, right? And he's got a lot of experience. That's super rare, and I can report the same on Tradeify and Ninja Trader. So I know you mentioned maybe trying out Ninja with Tradeify. That kind of weird stuff happens from time to time. It's super rare, but it's happened to me too. So I think it's just something we can't avoid. It's technology. We're at the mercy of it, you know?
Yep. Yes, accused. Breaking news. Pepe and Bonk coins are burning a lot of supply. Pepe and Bonk can make 20x. All right. I have no clue who Pepe and Bonk is, but all right, 20x that, baby. Caveman. So some I don't use stops. If a trade is against me, I close and double. I think in terms of, you still have to have a target in your mind with your trade and an idea of where the trade will go against you. If you're playing level, I play mainly levels. My biggest problem is I see the level, it's blowing through a level, and I don't kill the trade. So whatever your strategy is, there should be an area where you're like, if it goes below this, my trade is invalid. I need to close. As long as you know that, that's the first thing. Whether you stick to it or not, that's a different conversation. And sometimes you'll DCA down there, or you'll refuse to close it and take more drawdown. But you do have to have an area, whether it's a mental stop or a hard stop, that you say, this is where my trade is invalid. If you don't have that, then that's the first problem you got to try to solve is, there's one thing having a mental stop and breaking the rule versus not even having a target or a stop loss area. You just kind of, well, if it goes up, I'm going to let it ride, but you don't know where you got to clip that trade. You should have an idea where to clip it. I always have an idea where to clip it. The question is, do I clip it? That's my problem. But if I stick to the rules and clip it where I should, I probably won't have that many blowouts throughout the year.
Same here. I mean, you guys have seen my charts. I trade the linear regression channel, right? So I have my entry and exit zones, and I usually only get in trouble when I kind of break my own setup and I get into a trade, like I FOMO into a trade when we're not in those zones. And then I got to get better at killing that trade if it breaks the channel. If it breaks the channel, my trade idea is off. It's no longer valid. So I have to then wait for the channel to automatically adjust, see where price is going to go, and wait for the next setup. And I got to get better at that.
Tyson, Caveman, last week on jobs report day, I was in a long without a stop, and that news hit the market and dropped 200 points. Yeah, I've gotten better. I don't know if you guys, I think it was Jesse. I used to watch Market Watch or one of those two, another website. I think it was Jesse. You got me on Financial Juice. And you guys see me every morning. I set alarms literally live on stream. I'm like, okay, I'm going to set an alarm for 9:45. I'm going to set an alarm for 10 a.m. because there's a news drop at 9:45 Eastern or 10 a.m. You guys hear my alarms going off. I'm sure some people probably laugh at it, but it's because I can get caught yapping away and in a position during a news drop, and it's happened on Trump tweets. You guys have seen some of those nasty tweets that I get caught in without a stop, but at least all the news that has time and date in terms of release, protect yourself, set alarms for yourself. I do this every morning. I take a look at all the news, and if I have to set an alarm, it's an alarm. Get out or stay flat. News is about to drop. So financialjuice.com is a good one. Jesse, were you able to hear that? Because I think when I switched to the other screen, you're not on that other one.
I heard you, yeah.
Okay, cool. Tyson, yeah, man, I've been on that. I've been better with scheduled news releases. What I still suffer on are the Trump tweets. Trump tweets can get me.
And those, unfortunately, are not scheduled.
Yeah, those could happen at any moment. Caveman, I try my best to not oversize, so even a 200-point move won't blow an account. It will hurt, but it won't. Good. I'm thinking of setting, for, I'm going to continue with the mental stop, but I may add a 40-point hard stop for Trump news. Because listen, it's only a matter of time before I trade without a stop during the New York session, where you're going to have a newsprint or even a 100-point candle. And, with funded account, it's one thing to blow evals, but when you're on a funded account, that's no good. So,
yeah, I have every trade I put on has a hard stop at 50 points, so 200 ticks.
I think I'm going to do, well, maybe I should do that. 50 points is $1,000 with a mini. Maybe I'll do 40 points. Well, maybe
that's
80.
my emergency stop now. I usually grab it and drag it up to the bottom of the channels, or drag it down to the top of the channels, or whatever setup I'm trading. I'll move it closer, but yeah.
Let me see if I can work on that starting tomorrow. Maybe I'll put a hard stop at 40 points. Doesn't mean it's my stop for the trade, but just they stop to protect me from Trump tweets. JT 1111. Oh man, you're also tied to 1111. Yeah, that's my number right there. Trump tweets seem to always happen at major levels. Is that the conspiracy theory? Trump tweets on a level ready to blow it. All right, this is slow. We had a little push down, a push up, but not much. Looks like we're going to be yapping away tonight.
Is Powell out? I don't think so.
No, they keep threatening him with his job. I remember the day that Trump threatened to fire him, and he said, I'm going to fire him. Then he said no. Then he said yes again, and the market went 100 points up, 100 points down. No, Powell's still there. I think the latest on Powell is he was going to get sued, right, for mismanagement of the Fed construction or restoration.
Yeah, I don't think they can fire him. So now it's a threat of a lawsuit.
Right.
But also, we all got to remember. Well, Trump needs to remember that it's not just Powell, right? There's a whole committee of people, and they all make these decisions together as a group, and they're all in agreement. So we just gotta. As painful as it is, we gotta watch it all play out.
And whether you agree with the Fed or not, I do believe, and this is what Powell said the last time, the Fed does need to be isolated, shielded, separate from politics. In other words, it cannot be influenced by the political party in power. It needs to be able to make independent decisions regardless of who's in power. That's the foundation of this country, the Fed being able to make those decisions on its own. Once you start mixing politics and political pressure, everything goes downhill.
Trader's Bait says, yes, he can fire him. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. I didn't think...
No, he can't.
I don't
the president cannot fire the...
I didn't think so.
Otherwise, he would have done that already.
Yeah, he would have done that a long time ago.
Yep.
I think there's some legalities there. I mean, he could probably find a way to get it done, but he can't personally just fire him, I don't think. But boy, would we all like to have lower rates, right? He needs to have a cause, and the remodeling is a fraud cause. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Traders. So I guess if he sues him and they win the lawsuit, then that gives the cause, right? If they lose the suit, then obviously the cause isn't there.
It has to be more than, hey, drop the interest rates.
Yeah, exactly. Jose says contract ends May 26. Okay, well, it's not that far off anyhow. I mean, even if Powell's gone, you still got the rest of the committee, and they all agree on what they're doing. So I don't think it's going to make that big of a change if they swap him out for somebody else. Who knows? We'll have to see.
Looks like tonight we're going to be talking a lot, so why don't we hop on here? Hold on, let me bring you back in. Oh, you can't hear. Hear me out, right?
Yep.
All right. So, can Trump fire Fed chairman? It's possible, but likely market reaction would give pause. President Trump has had difficult relationship with the federal chair. Let's see. Trump accused the affair. According to Powell, he's not permitted under the law. Many analysts said such a move would gravely harm the Fed's long-standing independence and is, according to Powell, not permitted under the law. Trump later said he had no plans to fire Powell. Yeah, I think he has to have a pretty hard case that this guy is just ruining the country. But it's not like he can just wake up like a cabinet position and say, hey, you're fired. Trump can fire any cabinet member at any time at will. Not the Fed, though. Not the Fed chairman. All right, looks like we are going to be making a lot of conversation tonight. Nicolas Gomez, are you still on? I gotta give props to Nicolas Gomez, our buddy in France. He can create conversation. You ever listen to the questions he asks? The guy is a master in what's it called? Engagement.
Yeah,
there he is. We're gonna need you tonight, buddy. You're the good one for the questions to create conversation and engagement. Yes, he can fire him. He needs to have cause. Okay. Let's see. Next, Jose Magallanes. Welcome to the stream. Carlos, he waited 9% inflation to start rising rates. There's something really wrong with Powell. Yeah, I don't know much about the Fed to say is he right or wrong. What Powell did, I did listen to the last FOMC. I usually don't. I just trade it. I just watch the market and trade FOMC. But this time I took the time to actually listen to Powell. And he was asked directly, are you going to lower the rates if inflation is brought closer to the 2% target, right? Because that's the Fed's target to bring inflation down to 2%. And I forgot what the number is. We're pretty close. And he was asked straight up, well, if the Fed gets its goal of 2% inflation, are you going to finally drop the rates? And he said no. And everybody in the room was like, huh? This is the last FOMC. And he goes, we still need data to hold that 2% over multiple data frames. In other words, what he didn't want to happen is inflation drops to 2%, they drop the rates, and that creates a trigger to bring inflation right back up. So I don't know whether the answer is to bring rates down. I know housing is taking a hit. Cars is taking a hit. Nicholas, what's the most useless talent you guys have?
I know mine.
Go ahead while I think about it.
I know how to beatbox. Do you guys know what that is?
You know how to beatbox. Okay.
That would be my useless talent.
I can play most tunes with the left side of my jaw, the teeth on the left side, and I can actually make tunes with that side for whatever reason. The right
like
side,
a trumpet sound?
No, like Mary had a little lamp, twinkle twinkle little star, blah, blah, blah. I can make that. So there you go.
So one of these times we'll do a talent show, and I'll beatbox while JC's doing the tunes. We got a band, says Nick. All right, so it definitely rejected off of VWAP and wanted to start heading back down here.
I don't know if that's a rejection, man. How many points? 39, 9-point rejection.
That's all you get in the Asia, man.
Hey, man, I can annoy my wife. Yeah, let's make the questions not just to us. I think the chat should respond. Hey, it doesn't look like we're trading tonight, so might as well get everyone involved tonight.
I'm pretty sure we all have that skill, caveman.
So wait a minute. I forgot. I was going to ask this earlier. Your wife trades as well. Mine does too. So do you guys trade in the same room together? In other words, when you're trading, are you guys in the same room making similar plays, or are you guys independent in your trading?
Same room, but independent. No, so we both use the same charts, same signals, all the indicators that I wrote. You guys have seen them. So we use the same exact setup, or the same everything, right? However, it just goes to show you, right? There's different ways at looking at things, because oftentimes we're not in the same trades, and we'll glance over each other's screens and say, "What are you doing?" You know. So.
And sure, if I ask the other person, I'll probably get the same answer. Who's the better trader?
I think to be honest with you guys, now I'm probably going to get roasted for saying this, but I think women make better traders. She's got more patience. She'll wait for that trade to come to exactly where she wants to go. Meanwhile, I've been taking 20 points of heat, right? So she's better. I think she's better.
Oh, in this house, I'm better. She's very emotional. She can get emotional in her trading. Which I get a kick out of it.
That's me in this household.
The evil side of me, watching her like, oh my God, this is gonna lose it all. I'm gonna blow it right here. Close it.
Hey Tyson, that's a good question. No, we trade different prop firms. But yeah, I have multiple. So I have like backup systems upon backup systems at my house, because I don't want to ever be down, right? So I've got 2 different internet connections. I have battery backups on everything, routers, modems, all that stuff. So yeah, we do use different internet connections, but it doesn't matter because she trades with my funded futures and I don't. So
Same here. The only difference in my situation is we can't trade in the same room. We'll literally blow up. We don't we don't trade in the same room. I have this office down here, and she has the whole loft to herself up there with her screens. We do have two different internet connections. I have my wired connection here to the house, and she has a different provider, different internet to her area, because of the whole issue with IP addresses. We're very careful, especially at the beginning when we were only trading Topstep. We wanted to make sure that they didn't see it as a hedging situation or anything like that. Now we're just careful. We have different internet connections, but also trade different props to avoid, without even thinking about it, she could be in a long and I could be in a short. And technically that would be the same household, and they could say, hey, you're hedging in that house. We're closing your account. So now, to avoid all that, we trade different props. We may trade the similar props, but not the same props at the same time. I'll say, hey, this is what I'm copy trading today, and she'll be like, okay, just trading this until you blow those.
gotcha. Caveman, I don't think I was here if you shared your charts. Oh, I'll share them. If JC, if you want to show, you can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep, it's on.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. What's up? You are up. Let me put you on full screen. See screen. There you go. You're up.
There you go. There you go, Caveman. There's my Renko charts. Total different trade style than JC and probably many of you folks. But what you're looking at is NinjaTrader loaded up with indicators that I coded myself. And both of those charts are Renko bars, just different sizes.
Caveman. Did you just read Caveman's comment? That's hilarious.
Another useless talent. Oh boy. I think all of us have that talent also, Caveman. At least we know how to use the mute button when we're live on stream, right, JC?
Yeah.
Ay.
All right, so we're looking at Jesse's charts, and it's
yeah, let me zoom in a little bit, because here, let me move my mouse over there and zoom this chart in so we can see the channels a little better. There you go. Oh, that might be too big. Yeah, the channels are kind of flattening out here.
The Oracle's Flame. Man, I wish my fiance traded. Would be dope to be able to discuss with her throughout the day. Yeah, I mean, listen, we trade different rooms, but at the end of the day, we'll talk about it. I don't think she even watches my live streams. Every now and then she'll watch, but we try to keep it independent. She gets her payouts, a lot less than me. But she's doing her thing. She's growing. It's good. People in the house trading. How long? I don't know if I asked you this, Jesse. How long did it take you to? I mean, I guess that's not really a question. It's a work in progress. You adjust these indicators in the code as you go, right?
I haven't made any adjustments now for like a month and a half. Got it to where I want it. I've been working on this set of indicators for a few months. Probably about, 4.5 months off and on. And I have a full-time job, plus I need to trade. So really kind of nights and weekends type of deal.
Right back.
Yep. Cool charts. Yeah, it's NinjaTrader. I use Tradeify accounts. Can you use it on Tradeify? No. NinjaTrader is written in C#. NinjaScript is C#. So yeah, I'm sure there's a way to maybe convert the code or recode some of this stuff, or like I said, all of this is private stuff that I built myself though, so it's not really available to the public. However, with that said, the majority of everything that I have on my charts, I basically just built it. The foundation of the code comes from the built-in NinjaTrader indicators. So, for example, all those percentages on the right-hand side, the base code for that comes from the buy-sell pressure indicator that comes built into NinjaTrader. And then some of the dashed lines are the open, high, low, close indicator. That's free. The solid lines are the previous day open, high, low, close. That's free and built into NinjaTrader. The linear regression channel, while I use a custom version of it that I wrote, there is one available in NinjaTrader. And it does the same thing. It just doesn't have multiple. Let me move my mouse and I'll show you. It doesn't have, so this one has, what's going to be the best way to show this? Because it's kind of flat, but so this is 4 standard deviations, the top line, away from the mean. This is 2 standard deviations. So, and then same for the blue lines down here at the bottom. 2 standard deviations, 4 standard deviations. So the built-in NinjaTrader indicator for the linear regression channel, it only lets you choose, it only lets you put in 1 standard deviation number in there. So what you could do is just load up the indicator in the chart twice and have one of them set to 2 and the other one set to 4, for example. And then you'll have exactly what I have here. Quant Tower does have that also, the linear regression channel. And so what it does is it calculates the mean over the X amount of bars, and you can set that. I have mine set to 200 on all my charts. And then it just gives you a linear regression channel. It automatically adjusts itself as the price action forms. And it's pretty cool. That's my main trading concept right there. Linear regression to the mean. So I'll take longs from the bottom and shorts from the top, but I filter my trades and I'll only take longs if that channel is pointed up, and I'll only take shorts if that channel is pointed down, which means I'm a trend trader. So I wait for the trend to be established and I go with the flow.
You got a question, and I'll address it afterwards as well.
Yes, I was for a couple of years. That's indeed.
And let's make it clear that Jesse is not showing AlgoBox. That is his own coding. I'm also going to add that AlgoBox is a proprietary product that, because of proprietary reasons, I don't want to have those discussions. Let's chat. Appreciate you all.
Yep.
Caveman, when you say deviations red, you're using a bell curve expected move of the day. And with deviations in mind, how are your deviations calculated? It's a good one for you, buddy.
Yeah, so that's Caveman. It's the standard deviation. So the linear regression channel uses the standard deviation calculation that's built into NinjaTrader. So what you're asking is above my head. I'm not sure how they calculate that, but it calculates on the fly, and it consistently draws those zones or those lines based on previous price action. So right now it's flat, right? So you could be take shorts from the top, longs from the bottom. And then every once in a while, just like any other kind of levels or channels, right? Every once in a while it'll get broke. Now breakouts are rare, we all know that, but when it happens, you got to be quick to call your trade off. Otherwise you get caught with your pants down, as JC would say.
You guys have seen that?
Yeah. And so you may be able to see, let's see, can you see it on that screen? Through the middle, yeah. See the gray line right through the center of let me click on it so you can see it. Now that shows the actual plots. There's a gray line. That is the mean, right? So price action typically likes to revert to the mean. We've heard that before. And so the first red line above it is 2 standard deviations away from the mean, and the top one is 4. And same for below that, you got 2 standard deviations on this blue line and then 4 on this thicker blue line at the bottom. Now, this isn't a good example to show that off because it's super flat right now, but that thing will get pointing up, pointing down, and I have that loaded on all my charts, all the different bar sizes, Renko bar sizes, and so I'm looking for confluence on different Renko bar sizes. So I want all the linear regression channels to be pointed in the same direction. That confirms the trend that I'm going to be trading, and then I play the pullbacks in the trend. And what gets me into those trades are signals that are based off of order flow, real-time order flow. So whether that's stacked imbalances or delta shifts, like delta control shifts, massive delta momentum, things like that. Hopefully not with his pants down.
Nicolas Gomez, do you guys also see candlesticks patterns in your sleep?
Yeah, I do.
I used to. Now I don't care. Now I don't even think about trading at night. I sleep well. I remember at the beginning though, the emotions when I first started trading prop firms in 2023, futures prop. I remember I'd go to bed and I'm like, hell, this, that. Not anymore. I could care less. But that's why I literally I try to get my trading done within the first hour or two because I literally turn everything off and I walk away. I don't know anything about trading. It's a love-hate relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you guys see those gray boxes over, where's my mouse? I gotta move my screen, the secondary monitor over here. So, okay, gray boxes there's 3 of them, right? Up high, right in the middle, and then down low. What those are the zones from the linear regression channel on the bigger time frame, quote unquote, right? The bigger Renko bar. And so ultimately what that tells me is if we break a channel level on my smallest bars, right? That's my entry chart right there. Then I watch those zones because we could be going to that next zone, right? On the bigger time frame, the bigger bar. And so they're color coded automatically. So when they're all gray, that means the channels are flat even on the bigger bar size. So right now the channels are flat, we can see that. And those zones are gray, which means the channels are flat on the bigger bar size too, which we know that because we've had a whole bunch of chop the second half of the day, right? And then if you look to the chart on the left, you got those same you've got those zones, but those are from a much bigger Renko bar.
So Jesse, I have a question, and I think this is good for people because a lot of us are used to time-based candles, right? What you see on my those are called Renko bars, correct?
Yep.
And Ninja Trader, I guess there's a setting where you can just simply change it to Renko. In other words, this is the actual Renko bars that you're seeing there is something if you want to experiment with Renko bars, I'm assuming on Ninja, you can simply change your candlestick patterns to Renko, correct?
Yeah, so Ninja Trader does have a Renko bar, but it does not let you, I don't think it lets you customize the threshold of the Renko. So
Got it.
Keep in mind, Renko bars are meant to help you kind of stay in a move longer, right? So the bars will kind of hold the move longer. They kind of ignore little wicks and just keep going in the trend. So if you get a bar that changes color, like if you're in an up move, let's say, and all the bars are blue, they're less likely to turn red if there's just a little bit of a pullback. It's got to meet a certain threshold to create a red down bar, if that makes sense.
So good question to this is how different are Renko bars from, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. You guys can laugh at my pronunciation. Heikin-Ashi or Heikin-Ashi candles?
Yeah. Heikin-Ashi smooths out the price action even more than a Renko bar does.
I'm reading into that. I'm highly considering having a separate chart when I trade with Heikin-Ashi candles, because my understanding is there is a color change based on price action, correct?
Yes, yeah. So
Uh-huh.
in both bar types, and both of them have different settings, right? So you can set a Heikin-Ashi that's more sensitive than a Renko chart, and vice versa. But in theory, they both kind of smooth out the price action
Got it.
and kind of let you hold your trade longer as long as the bars stay that same color.
Yeah, Peter Chan, I don't know if he's on the stream. He may not be tonight, but you usually see him in the morning session. He was the one who got me onto HA, as they call it, Heikin-Ashi. And
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense. I've been watching some videos on it. I'm coming very close to having, oh, that's my alarm for my ribs.
Yeah.
I got some very good ribs coming out. But anyways, I'm strongly considering having a view because apparently it does have a color change based on price action. I'll be right back. You can entertain.
All right. Sounds good. Yep. So for anybody listening in who's got NinjaTrader, you can try the built-in Renko bars in NinjaTrader, but it's not going to look like mine because this is Ninja Renko bars. They're free from Ninja Renko. From ninja.co, you can get the Renko bars for free and install them in Ninja. And the difference is these allow you to set a threshold, the reversal bar size, and they also show you the wicks of the bars. The NinjaTrader Renko bars don't have wicks. They're just bricks. They look like little blocks. I can zoom in. Let me zoom the chart in a little bit so you guys can see. You can see the wicks on those now, right? So most Renko bar types don't show the wicks. Ninja Renko bars do show the wicks.
Yeah, I'm back.
No problem.
So back to Heikin-Ashi. What would you say the main difference between Heikin-Ashi and Renko?
Well, I'm not an expert on HA bars,
Right.
but all I know about them is that they smooth out the price action a little bit and take the noise out of it, similar to what Renko bars try to do.
Got it. Okay. We'll leave it at that for now.
Yep. And so I trade this. This is my entry chart is on the right. That is a 12/6. So each bar is 12 ticks. And if the price comes against itself 6 ticks, it'll change the color of the bar. So I mean, it's most similar to like a 12 tick range bar, if that makes sense.
All right, and just in case you're just tuning in, I'm going to go back to the charts real quick. This is the reason we're chit-chatting away. We're in a 9-point range. No trading for now. Chit-chat away tonight. All right, back to your charts, Jesse.
And with rank, so I see a lot of people in the chat sometimes talking about second-based charts, right? Like a 3-second chart or a 1 second. So when the price action, when the NQ is super slow right now, and so on JC's bars and on my Renko, you're not seeing a ton of action. But if you drop down to a 1 second bar, it's gonna be flying all over the place. Similar story with Renko bars. You can set a Renko bar to like a 2/1. Right, and it's going to print a bar for every 2 ticks. So it's still not time-based. It's based on actual price movement. Stealth, what's up, bud?
What up, Stealth? I'll be right back.
Yep. Tyson, I don't know about JC's. Mine, I don't have a personal account right now. I had to take my money out of there to pay the tax man. But probably what I'm trying to do, not on the next payout I get from prop firms, but on my day job bonus that I get towards the end of the year, I'll probably fire back up the old NinjaTrader brokerage account and then use that as my master, like my leader account on the trade copier. If you're asking because of, margin and things like that, my broker is NinjaTrader themselves, and they offer day trading margin, which means you only got to have a fraction of the value of an NQ contract to trade it. But even with that said, I don't have that kind of money, so I trade micros with my live money.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh, man.
JC Tyson was asking about what size personal account do you have or recommend, or
I use Interactive Brokers. Interactive Brokers requires, I think we did the numbers the other day, 20, I think it was like 21 or 22,000 per mini if you want to trade it. So Interactive Brokers has good fills, but it is a true live margin account versus AMP, and I think even Ninja or Tradeify, right? Tradeify, you can have a live account with, I think, $1,000 and trade minis, but $1,000 is your drawdown. Very different than like Interactive Brokers account or a Thinkorswim or some of the true brokerage accounts where you need to have the margin to trade a mini NQ. So depends if you want to trade live as a drawdown account like AMP and Ninja, where let's say you open a $2,000 account and you can trade minis, $2,000 is your drawdown. It's very different than having a $50,000, $75,000 account where you can trade up to 3 minis, because you literally need 20 grand per mini on a true live account, but your drawdown is a lot more extended. So depends on how you want to play the live account game. You can play the live account game similar to a prop firm with AMP and Ninja, where you open it up for $2,000 of your own capital, but that's $2,000 drawdown. Yes, if you bring it up from there, you can grow it. I have Interactive Brokers. I trade minis based on the margin that I have. Stealth, Stealth. I just trade the. Sorry, I'm just reading Stealth's comment. I just trade the 2-minute opening range breakout at Asia Open. Simple, the better for me. Oh, really? I didn't know there was 2-minute opening range breakout. Wow, I'll look into that.
Yeah, I need to learn a little bit about the orb trades. I don't know. I mean, I know the general basics of it, but never tried it.
Never tried the 2-minute. 15-minute, you guys have seen me take that trade during New York Open, but 2-minute during the Asia, I've never tried it.
Caveman, thanks for hanging out. We will see you next time. Corey, what's up?
Corey Haram, welcome to the stream.
People are like, Jesse, what the hell are you doing here?
That's funny. That's funny. Tyson Hall, I was actually asking ChatGPT about the actual real dollar equivalent of a TPT 150 account size versus real money, and it's between 25 and 50K. No, that's actually incorrect. Your drawdown is the real money value, right? So if you have a drawdown of $9,000 on a 150K, which is not 9,000, it's I think for 4,500, right?
4,500 is what the cash value is of the account.
Yep. So that's similar. You want to look. This is what we were just talking about, a live account. If you have a prop firm, take Profit Trader 150K, the 150K, the 50K, the 200K, the 300. That's just a number. You base it on the drawdown. If you have $4,500 of drawdown on a 150K, that's your cash value. That's no different than opening up your own personal account on AMP or Tradeify, $4,500 with no rules. Now you're trading your own live account. Same thing.
The big difference is that they prop firms let you over leverage yourself. So if you have $4,500 in a NinjaTrader brokerage account, you can trade 4 NQ minis at a time.
Really?
That's how much
that's impressive. I mean, listen,
now
you're going to blow it, but that's crazy.
With that same 150K account on the prop firm, they'll let you trade what, 10 or 16 or something like that.
Right.
So you love it or hate it, they let you over leverage yourself. And I think that's where they're calculating their dollar values from, even though it's basically because they let you trade more contracts. So it's as if this is all virtual trading, but it's as if you have more money in there for more margin. But really, like JC said, you really only have the $4,500 of drawdown.
Right. That's why I always tell you, when people tell me, oh, what prop firm should I buy? Listen, you got to look at how much drawdown and how much you're paying for drawdown. That's how I calculate all these prop firms is how much does a 150K give me in drawdown and how much does it cost me? I have a whole table, literally a Excel on every single, well, most of the props that I trade. If I'm adding something, I was like, wait, how much is the cost per drawdown? I call it the cost per 1,000 of drawdown. Because that's how you really should look at these props is what are you paying for as a max loss limit? Doesn't matter if it says 300K, 400K. That's just a fancy number. The number you care about is what is your max loss limit? How much are you paying for a max loss limit? And then the rules, and then the rules after that, right? The consistency rules and all that good stuff.
Yeah. They're all different. They're all over the place. Hey, I got a question for you, JC. Our resident guru on prop firms here. I have an email from, I'm looking at it right now, from Funded Futures Family. So triple F, okay? And it says flash sale for 48 hours only, 70% off all evaluations. So my question is, what is Funded Futures Family? I'm not sure how they even got my email address, but are they any good? Should I give them a shot? What do we know about FFF?
So I don't trade FFF. I don't like to bash prop firms either, but here's what I will say. I don't know how much you guys follow social media and how involved you are on X and what's been going on. FFF was originally founded by...
Wait a minute. Was that the guy who had a podcast with Brett Simba and...
Yes.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about. And I know the whole story.
And his partner was the one who was caught photoshopping broker statements.
Yep, that's right.
So without mentioning names, listen, I don't like to get into bashing other YouTubers or other traders. I like to keep it as clean as possible. But yeah, that's the firm associated with them. So I don't.
Gotcha.
For all I know, they're a great prop firm that pays. They probably are. I would just say do your diligence, buddy. I don't know.
Yeah. Gotcha. Understood. Okay, thank you for that, because I just didn't know. I get them mixed up with Funded Futures Network. I thought they were the same company.
No. I trade on Funded Futures Network, and I like them. Very different from Funded Futures Family.
Yeah. J Trade mentioned the name. We won't mention it verbally.
Yep. Yeah.
AVL,
no need to get into Twitter drama.
Yeah, exactly. We'll keep it positive. We'll let Courtney get into all that stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, there you
go. Chris says, break from the channel. Not my channels, the linear regression channels. We're literally right in the... Let me move my mouse over there.
That mean I got to short it? What do we got to do, Jesse? Come on.
No, we're not. We're not in the red zone yet. So right now, the middle of the channel and VWAP are roughly around the same spot, right where I'm spinning my mouse, guys. That gray line is the middle of the channel. That's when you're trading the regression to the mean, that gray line is the mean. And so down here was the trade setup. And then, of course, we came back to the mean, right? So now what I'm waiting for is to get up into what I call the red zone, up here between the two red lines. And then I'll look for some kind of order flow confirmation, some flip in the control of the delta, something like that. But right now we're in the no-go zone.
Wish I had taken that long on the retest of 927. That would have been a juicy long right there.
Yeah.
It's about to be up 20 points, man. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Who would have thought? Well, it was targeting top of that range.
What's up, J Trade? Good to see you. AVL bought at 935, took one off at 940. Yeah, they're pushing.
They're pushing. That's a nice trade.
You can see, look at all those percentages. Woo, they're glowing.
Where is your percentage at right now?
It just formed a new bar here, so it's still there's still a lot of buying pressure. So,
well, the 200 SMA is all the way up at 955. The top of that channel is 55. You got a pivot point at 970. No, I'm sorry, 60.
960. Yeah. What's up, Chris? Yeah, it's me again, Jesse James.
Chris, yes, Jesse. We're keeping Jesse from trading tonight. So we're making sure he yaps away.
Oh boy. Yeah, I had a rough morning. For those of you who are just joining, I had a pretty rough morning. I lost half my evals being an idiot. I'll show you on my, since we're looking at my charts, let me show you what it looked like on the Renko bars. Oh boy. Let's
ABB,
see.
do you guys do Asia sessions stream every day? Yeah, Monday through Thursday, 9:15. I'm JC and Jesse's our guest today, but yeah, we're gonna have Jesse a lot more frequently. And other guests that are coming as well. Stay tuned. Yes, Monday through Thursday, 9:15 p.m. Eastern. And I also do the New York session, New York Open, 9:15 a.m. Monday through Friday.
All right. So I scrolled back to this morning when I was an idiot. I think that's where I was an idiot. What's the timestamp down there? Yeah, that's about right. So took this long right here. You see that blue triangle? Took that long. Got out when I got the red triangle. So that was a pretty nice trade. I left a little on the table, obviously. But then we got this nasty pullback. And I got long somewhere in here. It went against me. I held it. Got long again when we tapped VWAP. It went against me. I held it. And then I got long one more time somewhere down here. I mean, when I say I added, right? So I'm still long. And then account's blown.
That was a brutal one.
Yeah. And then I think it just kept going down. Yeah, look at that. Jeez, it just kept going. So half the accounts blown. Crazy too, because like I was saying earlier, those accounts had $7,500 of P&L in them. Whew.
Crazy how you can blow $7,000, but you can't make $7,000 in that amount of time either. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to blow $7,000, but to go try to make $7,000, your mind screws with you.
Yeah, the tough part is the drawdown part of it is the tough part, because I didn't blow $7,000. I only blew $4,000, 4,500.
Right,
but still, that's a lot. I never should have done that, right? I mean, that's my fault. That's still way too much to lose on any account. So it is tough to say bye-bye to accounts when they're positive, though, when they're at 153,350 or something like that.
Well, Chris Noof, he also took a lot of drawdown today. Yeah, today was a brutal day. I got out early and fortunately walked out in the green. As I looked at the charts, it was a brutal day to trade. I mean, look at this. Look at the up and down in this range after the initial flush. I mean, even the first flush was pretty much chop fest going down. But once they came all the way down, I mean, the only directional play was this one and this one. After that, oh, I'm not even showing my charts. We go back to the initial move down, right? You had this move down, which was choppy as hell within that channel. Then you had a nice, this was the nice play of the day if you shorted that. Then after that, look at this chop throughout the day. Got right into this zone that we're range that we've been playing since the initial move. We've been in that range since 8 a.m. my time, which is what, 11 a.m. Eastern. That's painful, man. Look at that chop.
That's true, but I will say, for my style of trading, that's a pretty good sized range, and I could trade that.
Yeah.
I could trade that using my signals. But if it was smaller than that, like right now, like right there, from that point forward where your cursor's at, that's bad.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, earlier that choppy zone was pretty nice if you're good at,
Range
shorting
trading.
the top and shorting the top, buying the bottom. You just can't do it too many times because it's bound to break out on you and then sayonara.
All right, we're still in his range, guys. Still in the middle of the range. I think we're going to be chit-chatting away. The calm before the storm. PPI tomorrow.
Tyson says, Jesse, would you consider selling your indicators? No, that's my only edge, man. Without that, I suck. I can't give it to anybody else.
I already offered quite a few, and you said no to me as well. So don't feel bad.
I don't know. Who knows in the future what the future brings? But right now, that's the only way I know how to trade. So can't do it. Can't do it. I'll tell you how it's all made and calculated, and we can talk about that. That's fun to talk about. I'm a nerd like that. But
here's what I will say. Jesse's a good example. This is why you got to be careful with the whole indicators or all the stuff that's sold out there. If someone's profitable, they ain't gonna sell it. Why would they?
Yeah.
If they got the magic potion or whatever you want to call it, the edge, no one's selling the edge. They're gonna sell you marketing. That's different.
That's true. Chris says, I got some green gummies we can trade. No, seriously though, Tyson, I'm all about helping people. I just can't give it away as is, right? But
I wouldn't blame
I've talked on this on when JC's had me as a guest. I've explained how some of these things are calculated, and if you're in the Discord, we can have conversations. I'm totally open to helping people create their version of stuff like this, right? That's fun for me, and I'm all about it. All about it. I want to see us all killing it, right?
Yeah, he's given enough nuggets for the coders out there. I'm not a coder. I'm not a bright guy at that level. But for you guys that are very bright and smart and know how to code, I think he's given enough nuggets there on how to code that stuff yourself.
Yeah, the biggest one that I watch where my eyes always go to on the chart is those percentages over there right on the price line. And I'll tell you right now, that's a free indicator in NinjaTrader. It's called buy-sell pressure. Add that to your chart. Any bar size works. Any minute-based, Renko, tick-based, range bar, all of it works. And it will literally plot out the buy-sell pressure in real time on every bar for you. All I've done is I've taken the code for that and changed how it's displayed and added 3 additional bar sizes. So I can watch, essentially I watch the buy-sell pressure on 4 different charts, but all right in one place on my entry chart. That's all it is.
Chad, last PPI was a nothing burger. We'll see tomorrow. Hoping for 100 points. I may even pull out an Apex eval and just. I've been on CPI and PPI. I've been using this latest strategy. Usually you'll have 100 points up, right? But you don't know. It could go 100 points down. So what I've done is I set a limit order at 75 above whatever price is at 629 or pretty close to 8:30 a.m. Eastern. And at that point, you're probably going to capture 125, 150 points to the upside or to the downside. I usually play it to the upside. So I'll set a limit order for 5 contracts going for 25 points. But it won't kick in until price goes up 75 because I don't want to get wicked to the downside because you know what happens on PPI or CPI. It'll flush you down 50 points. You don't want to be caught 50 points with 4 contracts and then push you back up 75 or 100. So if I'm looking to pass an eval or have some fun, I won't do that with a funded or I usually only do it with 1 eval to play with it. But that one seems to work where you give yourself a buffer on the move and set the limit order for 4 or 5 contracts after, let's say, 75 points. but not financial advice, entertainment purposes only.
There you go. Yeah, Tyson, that is an issue on some platforms. That's correct. Now, NinjaTrader is really good at providing tick data. So these Renko bars, that's why you see they have wicks, right? The Ninja Renko bars know exactly where every tick of data, every tick happened during each bar. And my indicator is able to collect that data and generate signals based on what's happening. So that's a benefit to Ninja. But the code is, it's C#. Well, so is Quant Tower. But so if you're familiar with that, you should be able to pull it off. Somebody was just saying, is the delta starting to flip? Went down to -22, then down to -65. Yeah, but if you look, I don't know what this looks like on minute-based bars. In fact, we'll flip over and check in a second here. But look how we're putting in higher lows and higher highs here, and we've got positive buying pressure. CVD, the cumulative volume delta, which is in the top right corner up here, is positive. I'm seeing some buying pressure here. We got a higher high, higher high, higher high, higher low, higher low. If this holds, feels like the momentum's going up. Let's see what happens. Again, I don't know what this looks like on minute-based bars. Chris, yeah, you can do both on NinjaTrader. Yeah, it'll let you do both. Most prop firms don't want you to do that, though. For example, if you know news is coming out, they don't want you to put a limit order above where we're at and below where we're at. And if you get a whip in that direction, I think they pretty much all have rules against doing that. But yes, it's possible.
No, they don't. They don't have rules. Well, Apex for sure doesn't have rules. Maybe other ones do. On eval, okay. we're talking about evals. Funded accounts, I would never do that with a funded account. But if you're looking to pass an eval, yes, you can set limit orders to the top, to the down. And as long as you're not in two different positions with the same prop, that's where you can get in trouble. But as long as you're unidirectional, yes, you can. As long as your fill is unidirectional, you're good.
Yeah, I heard a story once. I've got a buddy who did something like that and was on an intraday trailing drawdown account. It ripped right into his, filled his order, ripped right up. He passed the account, and then it ripped right back down, and he blew the account all in one trade.
Yep, that's why you have to set your TP. That's why you don't want to do it from the bottom. In other words, you want to give yourself at least a 75 point, whatever you decide. I usually use a 75 point buffer, and I go for 25 points for contracts with a set limit order on entry and a set TP before the thing even kicks in, because you're going to get that whiplash, and it could come right back up. After you passed it, it'll come right back down and blow the account. Rhino, you can long and short ES, and I never do long and short ES and Q at the same time, but I guess some props allow it, some don't. I don't hedge ES and NQ at all, assuming some allow it. So I wouldn't know if you could or couldn't hedge ES and NQ. Chris, my prop doesn't care about news. Yeah, for the most part, evals, most props don't. Some do when it comes to funded.
So you can see, I know it's been a while, but you guys can see that the linear regression channels are starting to slowly tilt down. You see that? The red, see how the red lines are no longer exactly horizontal?
Yep.
Now, those are not based on order flow. It's price action only, right? So anything could happen. But what it's saying is over the last 200 bars, the price action is looking like we're wanting to go down. So, and AVL just called that out a few moments ago.
Sorry, I missed it. Are we supposed to short? Is that what you're telling us?
Oh, AVL said we're going down.
All
We're
right,
going down.
all right, let's just hop on.
Full port. No, I wouldn't take any trades. We're right in the middle of the channels.
Yeah, right in the middle. Even looks like we're right in the middle of your charts, and we're definitely right in the middle of my range here.
Chris, yes, that's correct.
There's-
4 ticks per point. Yep, 100 points is 400 ticks.
So yeah, there's no way I can take that trade.
Yeah, I mean, the only way I would take this trade if I was totally convinced that this is this is a higher low and we're pushing back up to the high of the day. But I'm not convinced of that right now. Are you familiar with Algo Studio Pro? Nope, never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Is it similar to? No, probably not. The Studio Pro. I am, by the way, looking for an algo trading solution. Looking at Algo Studio Pro right now. This is Tyson Hall asking us about Algo Studio Pro, $2,000. Gonna have Jesse take a look at this on his time off and report back to me if this is worth it or not. I've been hunting for an algo trading solution. So what I do is I find these randoms and I go, Jesse, is this good? He'll go, nope. My indicator can do that and better and better.
If mine can do it, it's super basic. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I am hunting for an algo trading solution. So, any of you guys know or trade one? Feel free to drop me a note in the Discord. Yeah, this is Ninja. Oh, it's on Quantower. It's available on Quantower too. Oh, some indicators there. Dual bands, initial balance opening range. The news indicator. Oh, now there's a news indicator. Look at that. $169 for a news indicator. Wow. How about that? All right, we'll take a look at it.
Corey, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Infinity Stone. Who's the guest? That's me, Jesse James, in the house.
Jesse James is in the house tonight.
Yeah, we need a Trump tweet indicator.
Yeah, no kidding.
Nicholas says.
No kidding. The Trump tweet indicator pays, man. If you're in the right direction.
So what I will say is we're just about to bump up to the center line of the linear regression channel on the bigger bars on the chart on the left. And we should see a bit of a rejection off of that. That's what usually happens now. How big of it is it going to be worth a scalp or not? I don't know. I might try it. Let's see. No, the channels are pointing down. That would be going against my against my rules.
Oh man. Just staying in the middle. Nice little middle range to scalp. I know all traders I'm about to post.
SR, Jesse, do you have your own YouTube channel? No, I'm like an introvert. I really don't like public speaking. JC really had to twist my arm to get me on here as a guest.
He'll be on YouTube soon. Don't worry,
No,
guys.
no, I've got my day job keeps me so busy. I could never, by the way, props to you, man. I could never live stream and trade at the same time. That's got to be stressful beyond belief.
It is. Trading is already stressful and challenging as it is. Live streaming and trading, you're adding another layer You're making it more complicated for yourself, put it that way. But I'm sticking through it. I've made a commitment that, just like you build trading grit, I think there's also what's called live stream trading grit. You got to go through those highs and lows live streaming until you just don't care. Because the biggest challenge with live streaming is performance, right? You got to perform. You have to show profit, or you fall into that trap, I'd rather say. I've just slowly becoming, I don't care. And the better you build that grit, just like trading, like, listen, when I'm here by myself trading without live stream, without camera, without a mic, I just don't care. I'm trading, I'm doing my thing, win, lose, or draw. You got to build that into live streaming, which is trickier, easier said than done. That's why I'm giving myself time. There's been some good, there's been some bad, there's been some ugly, but it's building that live stream grit, as I call it, where I take the same approach when I'm here by myself, where I don't care. I mean, my chart says I got to long this, and I'm going to go with this, and that's it. Win, lose, or draw. But it's slowly getting better. Today I thought was a really good session live streaming. I finally stuck to a trade in terms of the level with a lot of back and forth. So if I can have more sessions like that over time, I'll get better. But yes, it is an added layer of stupid. It's like, what was the word I used the other day? Stupid complication brought upon myself. But it's fun. You also have to enjoy live stream. If you don't enjoy it, you're not gonna. I enjoy it. Now I just got to build the trading part, build more consistency into the trading part. I can do it alone. I can do it here by myself. It's adding the live stream part of it.
So Chris says, how about a trading bot? Can you build that for us, Jesse? That's funny you should mention that. I'm actually working on that. I'm working on a bot that will allow me to arm it and disarm it, and then it will take my signals as long as my different filters that I have in place all line up. So I'm working on that, but man, that is difficult to do.
Chad, I have 5 algos for Ninja, but slowly moved away from them at the moment. Yeah, I'm actually looking for not necessarily, well, Jesse's kind of built what I'm looking for. It's more of a trading solution with some built-in signals and all that good stuff. But listen, I'm also coming to the conclusion that nobody's going to sell the edge. You may have to build it yourself.
That's right. That's what I found. I mean, I've had a lot of stuff, guys. I mean, I've tried everything. I've tried all kinds of indicators, software, bots, different platforms, Jigsaw, Thinkorswim, ThinkScript stuff. I mean, I've done it all, and I've came to the conclusion that none of it does exactly what I want it to do. So I'm just going to have to write my own.
Marco Carvalho, I've built a lot of different indicators and bots for Tradeify, Ninja, and MetaTrader. If you guys need any help, feel free to ping me. Hey, good to know. Got another coder.
Sweet, yeah. Marco.
All you coders, I will say this, and this is why I keep saying that I'm looking for an algo-based trading solution. Not interested not interested necessarily in a indicator. More of a trading solution, algorithmic trading solution. Because I will tell you one thing: the quant guys, the really bright guys, like the Jessies of the world, it looks like the Marco Carvalhos of the world. You coders have an edge over all other traders because you guys can code based on their success or what you're seeing out there. Most quant guys that I know that trade are very successful, but they don't give it away. The ones that give it away, he's sketchy.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff that I've got here that you guys are watching, it's a work in progress. Every time it burns me, what I do is I start digging into it and I look at all the stats on that signal and that bar and the price action at the time, and I look at the delta, the volume, the buy sell pressure, everything. And I say, okay, how can I avoid that from burning me again next time, but without removing too many of the signals, right? And so I fine tune it a little bit here and there. I'm very careful to only make very tiny adjustments. But yeah, I mean, you're right. If you know the code and you wrote the indicator yourself, you can make those adjustments. If you're buying something from someone else, you're kind of stuck with what they've given you, you know?
But yeah, I'm actively looking for an algorithmic trading solution. Listen, it's the future. Most trading firms are heavily involved now with algorithmic trading, high frequency trading, HFT, algorithmic type trading. So that's happening. The overnight session, as we call it, we're here. We're trading against bots. No matter who you talk to, the late night session is mainly bots. So that's the future.
So we've got 93 folks hanging out with us. Hit that like button, everybody. Give JC some love.
90 people, man. You guys are enjoying the chit chat because we're not trading today. I mean, I'm going to go back to my charts. We're in the middle. We don't fiddle in the middle, but we've been yapping away for about 2 hours now. So I appreciate you all. Today we have, I think, one of the brightest guys I've met in trading as a fellow trader. I have a lot of trading buddies, but Jesse's one of those guys. I call him one of the guys who writes his own code, writes his own indicators. He's got an edge over us, unfortunately. I don't have that type of brain power, so my trading style is a lot more simple and probably very basic. But you guys are very fortunate. We're fortunate to hear Jesse and his style, and look at that, his Renko bars, the indicators he's written himself. So this is what the channel is about: education, bringing different styles, different strategies. There's more guests coming, and I hope to bring even more guests. Hopefully somebody with some ICT, some other juicy strategies out there that can go over their style. And listen, there's a lot of new traders. We know there's a lot of new traders tuned into the stream, both in the morning and the evening session. Gives you different ideas, different potential strategies that fit your personality. Doesn't matter what strategy you read about or you see, at the end of the day, you're only going to align with a trading strategy that aligns with your personality, period. You trade your personality. Trading is so personality based, it's not even funny.
That's right. That's right. Some of the stuff I watch you do, you're very successful at, and it's way over my head.
No way, really? I would think.
Oh, yeah.
I would think you would look at my trades and be like, "Oh man, that's as basic as it gets."
No, you should see me when you're live streaming in the morning. I'm over here and you're talking about 9s and 20s. I'm like, what in the hell is a 20?
Yeah. Yeah, and I look at your chart as Chris calls it the crayons, but we say it was love and respect. The crayons.
Yeah.
But it's way over my head. I wish I had that level of intellect and intelligence, really, to be able to code that stuff. So very impressive, my friend. Very impressive.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Chris says the chit chat is the best part, JC. Hey, I agree with you.
I hope people appreciate it. I mean, I'm sure we're going to get some haters. Oh man, that guy, JC, all he does is chit chat and never takes a trade. But listen, at the end of the day, we're in the middle of a range. What do you want me to do? Hold on, guys. My son is here. What's up, brother? Come on in. Come on. Why don't you say hello to the family? Get over here. Come on, get in. Did you like my ribs? Good?
I got it.
Okay, you'll get paid. Come here. How much do we pay the kid to make a cameo here, huh? How much do you want to get paid?
$1 million.
All right.
A million?
Have a good night.
Pesos?
Yeah, pesos, right? You mean pesos, right? Yeah.
I won't. What?
USD or crypto?
USD.
When are you going to start trading?
Already said.
All right, fine. A little man, indeed. Going to bed. All right, well, Yeah, I guess let's keep yapping away today. Unfortunately, we're just not getting price action. Although, who was it? Someone keeps saying, "Hey, I just made another $100." Hey, oh, AVL. I think it's AVL who keeps scalping it. Kudos, man. You're scalping that away.
Yeah, we keep getting some buying pressure every time we tap that center line of the channels on the big chart. They haven't been able to really push it yet, but they've tried. They're defending. The buyers are defending this area right here, which also happens to be the
Previous day
evening
close.
session. Yeah, the close and the open. So there's no gap there on futures.
At least not yet. Well, it looks like some of you are appreciating the chit chat and the yapping away, so that's good.
Yeah, I think I've said it all along. I think people really like the whole podcasty format. You know, just having a ball, hanging out, chatting.
You know what that means, buddy? It sounds like you got to open a YouTube channel, put a camera on, and now do some cameos here, buddy.
Host a whole bunch of different traders.
There you go.
Run a podcast. Yeah, we went up and took out most of or a little bit more than half of that FVG above us. I was talking about way earlier. We wicked right up into it.
I feel like we need a camera. Maybe even if it's like a camera pointing at the street, at the clock. But I just feel like, you know, when I go back to my screen, I feel like the top should be something, like some camera, even if it's not you, but something reflective of where you're at.
Well, that's where your advertisements go for
Who cares about the advertisements? Who cares about that?
I'll make everybody a deal. As soon as the kids are off to real college, right now they're in junior college. As soon as they get off to real college and I get my office space back, you got it. I'll give you a virtual handshake.
What is that, 3 years?
No, they're wrapping up. I think one of them's in the final semester of junior college right now. And the other one, I think, has one more. Well, I don't know. I got to check on that.
AVL, these FVGs are it tonight. Well, we got time to hear about FVGs. So AVL, if you wanna talk about your FVGs, what time frame are you basing these FVGs on?
Yeah, that's a good question because I'm on the 15-minute and I don't have a ton of them, just the one above us.
Just one above us between 9:30 and 9:50. That's the only FVG I see.
There, I just drug it over to the screen so folks can see it. So that's that red zone right above us that we've kind of wicked into a couple times and chipped away at it. That's on the 15-minute.
And if you want to see it on Trading View, like I said, I watch FVGs. I don't trade them. I'm not an ICT expert. I do plan on learning more about ICT, but let me show you guys what I'm talking about for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about in FVG. Here we go. So right here, Jesse's charts, I think he said it was red. On my chart, it's this area right here. This is the 15-minute. When I trade, although you guys see that 1 minute, probably asking yourself, why the hell does JC have, he has a 1 minute chart trying to trade the Asia session? Well, I do watch the 5, the 15, and the 30. They're just on another screen. But yeah, I do see this FVG. When I'm scalping New York, this is where it happens. The 1 minute and the 10-second, baby. So it's split screen for the 1 minute and the 10-second. Well, that's why I want to learn more about Renko bars, because I do see. Listen, I got to be honest. You've made some calls that have played out. In other words, whether it's a 10-point move, 15-point move, whatever it is, it's a scalp that plays out. So I got to respect it.
Tonight. Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, SR, that's a good question. JC covers that all the time, and I'm the same as him. I copy trade all my accounts at the same time. I don't cycle through them.
SR, same here. Obviously, the Asia session, I don't take as many trades. If the price action's there, I'll take it. New York session, I copy trade them all, funded accounts and evals. So I try to be in and out of the market as quickly as I can within the first hour. If you see me live streaming 2 hours, 3 hours in, I'm in some serious drawdown, probably in tilt, and refusing to walk out. But usually I'm out within the first hour, and I copy trade them because, listen, I did do the rotating of accounts. Before I switched to Quantower and Tradesyncer, I should say before I switched to Tradesyncer as my copy trade, I did use Ninja and Replicanto. And I was hopping, or what's it called, rotating accounts, 2 at a time, 3 at a time, until I got to 20 or 25 or 30 accounts that I would trade at the time. I found myself being stuck trading all morning, all day. I passed a few, or let's say I had green for a few, I was red in it for a few. So the ones that were green, I finished those. Then I'd come back for the red and try to recover, end up blowing those. I just found that I got myself into an endless cycle of trading, which is the opposite of what I want to do. I want to be able to get out of here within an hour, win, lose, or draw. So for me, I copy trade everything. That's why you see between the Asia and the New York session, I probably only take 3 trades a day. I was looking at my, my dashboard for my master account. 4 trades, 6 trades. Here, I'll show you guys my, my progress on this is the master account that feeds into Tradesyncer for the most part. There's been a little hiccups here and there, but this is the master, right? If we take a look at the number of trades, 3 trades, 3 trades, 2 trades, 6, but this is Asia and New York. So I'm not a high number of trades. Today was only 4 trades. That's because I came in with $200 from last night. That was that trade from last night. So I had 2 trades last night, 2 trades this morning, or 3 last night and 1 this morning, whatever it was. But my number of trades per day, look at the volume, is pretty low considering that's New York and Asia. Total of 30 trades, 30 wins, 3 losses. If I were to rotate, I would think that my win percentage would go down to about 40%. And I'd blow some accounts, I'd pass some accounts, blow some accounts. I've figured that I can copy trade everything, be consistent, get to payouts. My cost of business is going to be a tilt day. You guys saw that 2 Thursdays ago. I blew everything live, all my accounts, which I'm still rebuilding, by the way. But that's my cost of doing business, is I have the risk of blowing them all on a tilt session. So what do I have to do? Avoid tilt and I'll be fine. But for me, copy trade everything. Now, that's not to say I won't grab one eval or CPI or PPI and do some silly nonsense, but it's one. Or let's say I want to push an Apex eval. Yeah, I'll play with one, but I'm not rotating accounts throughout the day. All right, so AVL's talking to us about the fair value gaps. I watched the gaps after they form. I saw a tap at 1039 off the gap from the 948 candle. Respected the top of the gap. So let me ask you, AVL, you're looking for FVLs on the 1-minute chart? I think you said yes to that.
Gotcha, because the volume's low, uses them in the Asia session.
CB, you can split them groups of 5 or 10. Trade one group in the morning, trade one group in the afternoon. Yeah. I mean, even if, like I said, I'm usually, even if we look at today's trades, right? Hold on. I try to get it done within today. This was the trade that we talked about earlier. It was this short at the open, literally 1 minute into the open. I shorted for about 40 points. That was it. That was a one and done across the accounts that I was copy trading. I just, as much as it's JC Day Trader, I'm not trading throughout the day. Just not. Even if we, I showed you the dashboard. Let's look at yesterday. These were the trades from last night that I grabbed a little bit of profit coming into this morning. But look, after the morning, I'm out. I'll come back maybe for power hour. Let's look at yesterday, the 12th. This was when I was on Mucinix or something. I didn't take too many trades there. But my trades are usually within the first hour and I'm out. Maybe I'll come back for power hour. Look at this is again the open. Oh, this is CPI where I traded CPI. Caught some nice little green on that move up. But I was done. Look, after that, I'm staying away from the market. I was done early, so right after CPI, I was done. I remember that day. That's CPI was last Wednesday or last Thursday? No, it was this week. Yesterday was CPI?
Yeah, I think it was yesterday.
Yeah. And yesterday, these trades right here alone, I walked out with, what was the 12th? Right here, well, I only made 590. One day I made 945 on that. But in general, I don't trade a lot. I try to get it done within the first hour. It's pretty much, as much as it's JC Day Trader, try to get it done within the first hour. Usually if I'm still trading 2 hours or 3 hours in, it usually means I'm in some bad drawdown trying to recover.
So SR, how many contracts per trade? So this is Jesse. I do 1 contract per trade. That's it. And I don't have a minimum profit target or points per trade because I have an automatic trailing stop and I let it take me out of the trade. So sometimes it's $150, sometimes it's 300 or more, right? If it keeps ripping. JC, you do 1 contract at a time also, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I get to, if I get to, because like I said, I'm rebuilding from 2 Thursdays ago. Once my apex drawdown gets to 15 or 20,000, then I'll start entering with 2 contracts. But I wait until I build that profit buffer.
Yep, Chris, no additional monthly fees after you pay the activation.
Now, that doesn't mean I won't add or I won't DCA, let's be honest. I've DCA'd and I'll add to a winning trade. I try to avoid DCA. DCA, I actually like DCAing during the Asia because Asia moves so little, so forgiving until it gets you in the wrong direction, right? First time ever seen someone use Heikinashi.
Oh, there you go. So they're so similar, JC, they mistake them for Heikinashi candles. Yeah. No, these are Renko. This is Ninja Renko bars, but there you go.
We're gonna have a guest. We're gonna have a guest pretty soon who does trade Heikinashi, and he's actually gotten me interested in Heikinashi. But I've actually been reading up on it and considering adding a view with Heikinashi. But yes,
yeah,
Jesse trades Renko.
Yep, I trade the Ninja Renko bars, but Heikinashi can be made. They've got a lot of settings, right? They can look similar sometimes. Yep, I like it. Yep. Tyson asks, how many points before the trailing starts? You know what? I should probably just, if anybody uses Ninja, let's get, all right. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to show you, if you use Ninja and you want me to show you my ATM strategy. Because I'll show it to you and you can build it if you want.
I'm going to type 1 a couple times. How about that?
Oh boy. What's up, Jeff? Jeff Koski, good to see you, buddy.
SR, walk away. Learn. The biggest part of tilt is learning to identify it and walking away.
Yeah, go yell at yourself or cuss up a storm elsewhere. Just don't sit in front of the charts.
Or you sit there. I don't know how many of you were on my tilt session 2 Thursdays ago, but in hindsight, what should I have done? Walked out after the first brutal loss. Walk out. I would have had a $1,200 loss day and not blown everything. Abe Baker, do you trade gold? Listen, I promise that I'm going to have to include gold and my lady friend Nikki, Nikkei. We call her Nikki. We call her Nikki here, and crude because when NQ is like this, I got to find something else. It's in the works.
Okay, Tyson, you didn't put a 1, but I'll show it anyways.
Jeff Koski, welcome to the stream.
Jeff, Panda, still doing the agility classes, huh? I hope that's going good. Jeff's got some pretty cool dogs. They are some smart dogs. All right, here's the ATM strategy. Let's see can you guys see that?
I got a Doberman and
I'll walk through how this works. If you don't use NinjaTrader, you guys probably won't recognize any of this, but so the way this works, this is a 3-step trailing stop. You could set an initial, hey, if you get to 30 ticks, move your stop loss here, right? Just a solid move it here. You could do that. I don't do that. That's that top section. That could be move to break even. I don't do that because too many times I get wicked out on break even trades and then it rips without me, right? So I personally don't do that. So the way this works is at, what is that, 30? I can't see that far. Holy smokes. Is that 38? All right. So at 38 ticks, it starts trailing by 16, and then it tightens up. At 46 ticks, it then starts trailing by 12. And then at, what is that, a 54? At 54, it then trails by 6, which is super tight. So that's my go-to, and I have several different versions of this. So on high volatility days where the moves are real big, I'll use a bigger version of this. And so those numbers are just basically add 12 to each one of those numbers. And then I've got one that's even bigger. I call it my massive trailing stop. That's 3 times the size of this one, but I haven't been using that lately. This is my steak and potatoes. Or if you're JC, this is just the steak. All right, everybody got it? I'll close it up. So what that does, if you're not familiar with NinjaTrader and how it can trail, one of these nights, if I'm a guest on here and we're showing my charts and the market's actually moving, I'll show it off, but it's really cool. Essentially, my stop loss stays right where it's at until I'm 30, what does that say, 38? 38 ticks in profit. And as soon as it hits that 38 ticks, the stop loss snaps up on its own automatically to 16 ticks, behind that. And then it starts trailing. Every tick the price moves, the stop ticks up with it. It stays 16 behind until you get up to 46, and then it snaps to 12 behind, and then 6 behind. So it's really cool to see that play out in real time. It starts trailing up and right, and gets tighter and tighter and tighter, and then tiny little pullback, 6 ticks, and it boom, you're out. And so the reason I designed that is because with the intraday trailing drawdown of Apex and some other prop firms, you can't leave money on the table. You can't let that trade come back against you too many times in a day. Otherwise, you start chipping away at your available drawdown. So that takes care of that.
Yeah. Now, One Tower also had pulling stop and build that bracket order. I didn't know Ninja could do that, but yeah, pretty cool thing. It starts trailing your stop.
Yep, and so that's obviously for scalping, right? I'm not going for big giant 200 tick moves with that particular ATM strategy. If I'm in a trade and it's looking like a big move is happening, I'll actually close that stop, which will then it obviously then will not trail, and I'll manually manage my position.
Hey Baker, thank you for subscribing. Power Y Authority, thank you for subscribing. Brett Lapointe, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you all. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. If you're new to the stream and you're enjoying, the key is you're enjoying the content. Do me a favor, smash that like, smash that subscribe. We're doing this Monday through Thursday, 9:15 p.m. Eastern, trying to trade NASDAQ. Today, well, no movements, very minimal movements, so we're yapping away. But I also do Monday through Friday, the New York Open, 9:15 a.m., and that is the majority of my trading. We'll definitely see trades there, win, lose, or draw. Monday through Friday, 9:15 a.m., and today we got Jesse James as our guest.
Yeah.
By the way,
to the title? Yeah. Featuring Jesse James. Featuring Peter Chan. Featuring Shark Trends. Flex Profit says, what's the criteria for entry? Well, right now you're looking at my charts. I trade Renko bars, and I have several different entries. They're all based on order flow.
What would you say your strategy is called, Jesse?
Linear regression. So I basically flex points. I trade the regression to the mean. So I'm looking for us to get stretched away from the middle of these channels, the linear regression channels. And then I'll be watching for, delta, stacked delta imbalances, delta momentum exhaustion, delta buying pressure, selling pressure, anything having to do with volume and delta. So as soon as that flips to the opposite direction, I'll scalp it back to the middle of the linear regression channel. So that's my particular setup. And Brett, prop firm trading, first time watching this stream. Yes, prop firm trading. Yep. And welcome to JC's stream. The dude is the man. I see that you subscribed, so you will come to love the guy like we all do.
All right, we've added it. Jesse James, our guest, linear regression strategy. Brett Lapointe, Apex. How do you guys like it? Oh boy, Apex conversation. Apex, love them or hate them, it's the top prop firm for my payouts, both in 2024 and 2025. Apex has very tight rules, 30% consistency rule, 30% drawdown per trade rule, 5-to-1 max risk to reward per trade. If you can trade that, you can get payouts, you'll enjoy the leverage. Are there prop firms that you can trade and don't have to deal with those type of rules? 100%. But even with those crazy rules, even with their payout denials, it is still the prop firm that has paid me the most, both in 2024 and 2025. Jesse, you want to add anything to that?
Yep, same exact thing here. Yep. If you can trade with that rule set, which for me I had to make some adjustments. It wasn't easy. But yes, Apex, I've got the most payouts from Apex with, multiplied by the most amount of accounts with Apex. So if you can trade that way, then great. Why not have the leverage of multiple accounts, up to 20 accounts, right? So yeah, nothing more I can add. I trade Take Profit Trader and Tradeify also, and I believe you do too, right, JC?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, I trade quite a few now. Take Profit Trader, Tradeify, Funded Futures work. But again, Apex, the leverage, still the top platform that has paid me. Brett Lapointe, your Topstep. I don't think I could trade with those rules. It sounds like you know what you are doing. Listen, at the end of the day, as long as the rules work for you, don't fix what's not broken. Step is a great platform. I traded with Topstep at the beginning. My only issue with Topstep today in 2025 is you're locked to trading with what's it called? Topstep X. I don't like to be restricted. But other than that, Topstep's a great company.
Brett says, do they make you record your trades often? Not often. JC and I both have had to go through that process. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I was a little caught off guard at first, but I got through 5 days of documenting my trades, et cetera, and it wasn't that big of a deal. So
yeah,
I understand why they do it, and I'm okay with it.
Yep, their house, their rules. That's my theory on Apex and most prop firms. You decide what prop firm you want to trade based on the rules, based on your style. And fortunately, we live in an era that you can choose. You have plenty. You have over 10, probably 15 futures prop firms right now that you can choose and decide what's for you. For me, the leverage that Apex offers, even with their crazy rules, totally worth it.
That's right. Lambo, good to see you. Yep, they do offer the most potential and absolutely will pay you if you follow all those rules. That is true. Yep.
CB says no reason to go with Apex with the choices we have now. Yes and no, but I agree. If you're looking for easier rules, I'd agree with you. If you're looking for leverage, I'd disagree with you.
That's true. Yeah. For example, I have 10 150K Apex funded accounts. You could do up to 20. I've had 20 before.
Brett, no, you cannot trade all platforms on Topstep. You can only trade Topstep X on Topstep.
Now, yeah, if you've got some grandfathered accounts, you're lucky. Hang on to them. Don't blow them up.
Right. But who really has grandfathered accounts? Very few. If you're going to open an account today with Topstep, your only platform available is Topstep X. That's the only reason I have an issue with Topstep. That's a personal thing. That doesn't mean Topstep X for a lot of traders is a great platform, right? I just don't trade Topstep X for other reasons.
Yeah. I personally don't like how Project X has the capability of sharing your trade data between different prop firms. So I stay away from that personally, just for my own self. Yusuf, what's up, buddy? I'm reading.
I disagree on Apex pricing. I make it a point to only buy Apex on 91% discount. That's the only time I'll buy Apex. I've blown a ton of accounts and I've had a major issue and I have to buy at 80%, then maybe 80%, but no more than 80% off. I mean, no less than 80% off. Most of the time I buy at 90% off.
Yeah, same here. I think I've only bought Apex accounts when they are 90% off. And trust me, I've bought a lot of Apex accounts. Yusuf, how is the new guest? Jesse James here, doing great. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, Apex, buy at 90%, guys. And that's it. That's the only time I buy. And I load up.
Yeah, the other JC, you got it, bud.
Yep. Jesse James, our guest tonight.
I think we're gonna have Peter soon. We're gonna have Shark soon. Sounds like.
Bulenox, and Apex, guys. 90%. Just remember, Bulenox has 91%. Apex has 90%. Bulenox, if you're able to pass it in one day with that 91% discount, that's technically a straight to funded account. But be smart. Buy those two at 90%, no less.
Yeah, agreed, Lambo. Jeff, how are you liking that wealth charts? I heard mixed reviews on that.
Have not used. Oh, Jeff has used wealth charts. I haven't used wealth charts. I haven't even bothered to open it. Lambo, yeah. I think I've shared my story. I mainly trade 150Ks, and even with Bulenox, I passed the 150K Bulenox, and the activation fee was $4.95. That's why I say if you can pass Bulenox in one day, you're technically buying a straight to funded. The activation fee on a 150K is $4.95 with Bulenox. So yeah, I would agree with Bulenox. If you trade 50Ks, it's worth it. If you trade 150Ks like I do, you got to make a decision. You got to treat it as a straight to funded, really. What it is. If you can pass it within a couple days. But even at $4.95, I still buy. I only activate one master account at a time with Bulenox, 150K, and I do pay the $4.95. But I'll only do one account with Bulenox Master. But if you are a new trader, so a lot of people ask, what's the best prop firm? Where are you in your journey? If you are brand new to futures trading, you should not be worried about who's the fancy marketing or prop firm with all the marketing. All you should be thinking is, who gives me the most drawdown, max loss limit for less? Right now, for beginner traders, not talking about payouts, not talking about you've now mastered futures trading. I'm talking about you are new to trading futures. You still can't get to a payout consistently. You should be thinking about which prop firm gives me the most max loss limit for less. Right now, arguably, 90% Apex and 91% Bulenox for tuition to learn how to trade futures, probably your best options. Because at the end of the day, at the beginning, you are paying your tuition fees to learn how to trade futures. So if you know that the beginning is going to be blown accounts, why not go with the ones that offer the best discount, 90%, for the highest max loss limit?
I agree. Couldn't have said it better there. Hey, Flex Profit says, what's the best prop firm discount at the moment? I think right now is those new accounts that My Funded Futures just launched. They're super cheap. I think you can get their core accounts for like $67 for a 50K.
Yeah.
Pretty cheap. And those guys pay, and they pay quick.
Bulenox pays. Is that what we're talking about, Bulenox?
No, My Funded Futures.
Oh, yeah. You guys trade I haven't. Listen, I keep saying My Funded Futures is on my list to trade. I just don't. But eventually I'll get to My Funded Futures. But yeah, I've heard really good things. They pay on time. And I see the payouts on social media. So they seem to be a great company.
Yeah, great company. They're according to my research, again, do your own homework, but they're in the top 3 prop firms for me.
Power Authority, I got a 50K for $37 from Topstep. Yeah, I mean, Topstep with Project X, I hear, is pretty cheap. But a 50K with Bulenox, what is it, like $15 with 91% off?
Well, I should say everybody's throwing out Topstep right now at those cheap prices. Let me rephrase what I said. With My Funded Futures, that with the discount code, I think it's $67 for a 50K, 0 activation fee, right? You pass it, you're sim funded, no activation. That's the cheapest in the business right now, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Lambo, Apex, slowest pay, minimum 20-day turnaround? I don't know about that. Not in the US, at least. I got a payout from Apex that I talked about last Monday, 10K, and I got approved. I submitted on Friday. I got approved on Monday and deposited by Thursday or something like that. Pretty quick after approval. So I don't know about the 20-day turnaround for Apex.
Abe, are any of these prop firms allow you to trade on Thinkorswim? I don't think so. I'm not aware of a prop firm that allows you to connect Thinkorswim.
Abe, no, because that would be a live environment. Thinkorswim would be
Schwab.
Yeah, Schwab. That's a live environment, even though they also have simulated accounts. Prop firm accounts run on different rhythmic or Tradeify mainly. Brett, I just requested 2 Topstep payout yesterday. I should have a pending deposit tomorrow. Yeah, Topstep is good. Topstep, rarely any issues with payouts. The only issue I have with Topstep is they force you to trade on Topstep X. I just won't. I won't. At least not right now. Maybe in the future.
And congrats on the payouts, man.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I'm in a little bit of a slump myself.
Right, that's good stuff. Listen, Topstep has very similar rules to Take Profit Trader, right? 50% consistency rule on the eval phase. They're great. I traded Topstep a lot in 2023. Not much in 2024, and I have not even traded Topstep this year. Actually, no, I lie. I think I did have one Express account. I got maybe 1 or 2 payouts, and then I blew it. But ever since they switched to Project or Topstep X, I haven't tried Topstep. I don't like prop firms that force you to trade their private label version of Project X, which is what Topstep X is. Again, that's my personal thing, not financial advice, entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, Lambo, I agree. Take Profit Trader is great too, but the one thing that gets me though every time, darn it, is when you pass your eval and you get to a sim funded stage, their pro account, it switches to intraday trailing drawdown.
Yeah, it's like
I got to be real.
It's like you're trading Apex. It's like you're trading Apex again.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know if I told you, because I copy trade everything. Most of my trading is based on Apex rules, anyways.
Yeah.
Even if it's Take Profit Trader, Bulenox, or whatever, I'm applying 30-30 across the board, and I'm watching my trailing drawdown per trade, where I gotta be careful for 30%.
Hold on, Lambo, I got a question about that. So Take Profit or day traders are my 2 favorites. So day traders, from what I understand, has the exact same accounts and rule set as Apex. Am I wrong on that? I think it's exactly the same.
No, they don't. Hold on. The same backend, but their rules are a little different. Here we go.
For whatever reason, I thought they had the same exact.
No, they're similar. The backend is pretty similar, but they do have different rules. I don't even have my sheet. Anyways, maybe someone else can tell us about day.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, so no. Okay, so it's intraday trailing. Yeah. But you can DCA, scaled, have drawdown. They don't care. All right, so they don't have the 5-to-1 and the 30% thing. Do they have a consistency rule? I'm curious about that. If they have no rules, like somebody just who said that? No, CB says day traders has no rules. Well, that's not really sustainable.
That's not true.
We learned that from Fast Track.
No, they do have rules. Hold on, I'm trying to look for my cheat sheet.
30% consistency.
The 50% consistency rule, eval stage.
Hanafi, I've been wanting to try out funding ticks, to be honest with you. I have not done it yet, but I want to give that a shot. Do they have Tradeify accounts yet? That's critical for me. I only use Tradeify.
Day traders is 50%, not 30% consistency rule.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys were talking about day traders.
Yeah.
It's a 50% consistency.
Gotcha.
Now they also have straight to funded. I haven't tried day traders straight to funded. I mean, most straight to funded accounts are 20%, and I'm assuming their pro accounts are 30%. I haven't tried straight to funded with their pro accounts are 30%, their evals are 50%.
Gotcha.
Oh, SR
Okay.
just wrote that. Yeah, 50%
Yep,
for
yep,
eval. So,
yep.
yep.
Chad's gonna grab a 25K straight to funded Tradeify tonight. Sweet. Chad, use JCDT on that. Gonna lock in 150 bucks a day using 1 or 2 micros and try to get a payout going for confidence. Perfect. Good plan. Love it.
Plan. Good luck. Yeah, Tradeify. Listen, I've gotten payouts. I've documented my payouts. Yes, I do, Chad. The code is JCDT for Tradeify. I've documented my payouts here on the YouTube channel. My payouts with Tradeify within 20 minutes deposited. I can't say anything but good things about Tradeify. Yes, I'm an affiliate, but at the same time, Tradeify has not denied a single payout to this date. That's not me talking. That's their CEO, Brett Simba, mentioned it multiple times on other YouTube channels, on X. Tradeify has not denied a payout to this.
Yeah, I just got an email about that actually. They were bragging about that. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Tradeify, you guys can use code JCDT as well for, I think they're at 35% right now. I only buy Tradeify straight to funded, and I've had no issues. Funding ticks, have no comment on funding ticks for now.
I want to try them. Let me bring back up their website. There was some reason I didn't buy the accounts. I want to say maybe they don't have Tradeivate, and I only use Tradeivate. So let me check again. There was something. Oh yeah, they do have it. Choose your platform. Tradeivate, NinjaTrader, and TradingView available. Huh.
Lambo, I was initially worried about how young Brett Simba was, but they are rock solid. Listen, I can only say good things about Tradeify. Brett Simba, I think, has created probably one of the top leading prop firms in the futures prop firm space. The guy knows what he's doing. He's got a great team culture there. They pay within 20 minutes. Let's say it's an hour. No denied payouts to date. They're straight to now. I can only speak about their straight to funded. Those are the only accounts I've bought with Tradeify, and you guys have seen my payouts that I've documented on the channel. But what can I say? Look for a prop firm that pays, right? That's one of them. Again, I can only comment on straight to funded with Tradeify because those are the only ones I buy with Tradeify. But so far, so good. No, can't say anything negative. Crazy dashboard, probably one of the best dashboards in the industry. You know, although Topstep is there, I still like Tradeify's better. Funded Next Futures, I don't know about them. No comments there. Jeff Koski is straight to funded. Yes, they're lightning funded, correct. So you skip so for anybody new, with any prop firm, when you hear the word straight to funded or instant funded, you don't have a test phase. You don't have to pass an eval. You don't have to go through the whole test period. You go straight into a sim funded account. It is a sim funded. It's not a live account. It's sim funded, but as long as you hit that profit goal, that's the only time you got to hit your profit goal to get a payout. So, like I said, Tradeify, you guys can use code JCDT. You get, I don't know what it is right now, 35, 40%. I can only comment on straight to funded accounts because those are the only ones I trade and that I've gotten payouts, and see the videos that I've posted on that. Hey, what can I say? It's a great prop firm. That's the only thing I can say right now.
It's crazy how many prop firms there are. I'm barely tapped in here.
Listen, it's a golden era for. I've said it in, the YouTube channel was originally, or it still is. I've added the live stream component to this YouTube channel, but the YouTube channel has been mainly about futures prop firm updates, drama, and all that. And I say it in a lot of my videos. We are in the golden era for futures traders, whether you're learning how to trade or trying to add leverage to your accounts, you got a ton of prop firms to choose from, a ton of prop firms that actually pay, which is key.
Now, if I could only get to the payout stage.
Oh, you get there. Stop. All right, we're still in the middle here, guys. As much as I am watching it, but we're still fiddling in the middle. I don't think we're going to get up here or down here tonight, so it looks like we'll be chit-chatting away. Tick, I don't know about Elite, but Tick pays. Tick has its issues, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty upfront and transparent about some of the Tick issues. But for me, Tick has paid. I haven't had any issues with them. But I have seen that Tick, after a couple payouts, some traders can no longer trade with them. They get their payouts. For the most part, Tick doesn't deny payouts. It's what happens after the second or third payout. On their Discord, you start seeing some traders stuck in limbo. They can't trade, they can't buy accounts, or they're told they're going to be moved to live, and live can happen in 3 or 6 months. But other than that, I haven't had any issues with Tick Trader. I also don't open all. I only have 1 or 2 any time with Tick. Also with Tick, I only open straight to funding. Listen, I can't say yes or no to your last comment, Lambo. What I will say is there have been several Discord users who have been told they're going to be moved to live, and it never happens. Or still waiting. I guess never is not the right word. Still waiting after weeks and possibly months. I'll leave it at that. But they do pay you out until you get there, in other words. And you got to understand, with most prop firms, there will be a payout cap. No matter who you, even we're talking about Tradeify, there's a payout cap at Tradeify. Every prop firm has its own caps and how they deal with once you reach with caps. Some will just not allow you to trade. Some will quote unquote talk about the live funded stage. Whether it happens or not, that's a different conversation. But every prop firm has a payout cap. Think about it. They're not going to just pay infinitely for someone to paper trade.
I will say I've never seen anywhere where Apex has a cap. I think they're the only ones that don't actually say that they cap you at a certain amount. Right?
Yeah, no, they do. They have. I don't know the language, but
okay.
There is a payout cap. Not low. I think it's. But whether they actually cap you or not, different cap.
Yeah. So Power asks, how many ticks do you usually go for in your scalps, or do you prefer higher probability entries? So my trailing stop kicks in and takes me out whenever it gets hit. So minimum of, what was it, 38 ticks, guys, I think. So my minimum scalp is 38 ticks. And then if it keeps going, it just keeps trailing it.
All right, guys, we're going into 3 hours and finally starting to see the first major candle here. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Oh, back up. No continuation on that. I think I'm going to call it, Jesse, and get some sleep for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Jay's Trades, is that a Renko chart? Yes, sir. And welcome. Good to see you, Jay.
Jay's Trades, welcome.
Yeah, not much happening tonight. I'm surprised we were able to kill the time.
Yep, so it's the calm before the storm. Tomorrow is when it happens.
Yeah, not much happening here. Jeez, we're 0 for 0 tonight, huh, bud?
Yep.
Brett, JC does. Yeah, I'm just a guest. But yep, JC's here every morning, every night, except for Friday nights, of course.
Yeah, we have Jesse as our guest during the late night session. But late night Asia session starts at 9:15 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Thursday. And I also do Monday through Friday, the New York. That's the main session I trade, the New York Open, 9:15 a.m. Eastern for Nasty NASDAQ as well. Jeff is telling us about that little 5-point. Is it a 5-point flush? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's 5 points on that. We got excited over 5 points during the Asia. But yeah, that's what it's looking like right now. Still not interested. Still in the middle. I want to see what happens down here or up here, but I don't think it'll happen tonight. At least not before I go to bed. So. It's Jesse's.
What's up, PR? Charts are off on the right edge. Really?
Lambo, respectfully, we don't talk about signals. We can talk about trades we're taking, but we're not trying to become a signals channel. Respectfully.
Brett. I haven't looked at X in months. I probably should check in on it every once in a while.
Correct, Lambo. You're welcome to talk about trades you're taking, but signals and that whole concept, not what the channel is about or what we're trying to do here. Respectfully, again.
Brett, somebody said
Brett,
watch
sitting
Tiger.
sitting in my office all night taking shit on X while I wait for a setup gets boring. I don't know if we're gonna get a setup. We're still in the middle here.
Yeah. What? Hey, PR. What did you mean by watch Tiger? I'm lost. You guys lost me. If you want to trade a lot, watch Tiger. Wow.
Who wrote that?
PR.
Oh,
I'm lost.
yeah.
Although I am half asleep. Could be me, PR. Could be me. Okay, hilariously entertaining. All right, must be a YouTuber or something that I'm not in the loop on that. Sounds like something I need to check out.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Tilt Tiger. Chad says Tilt Tiger. So everybody knows about this tiger except for me. Sling's contract. Oh, you know what?
Everyone does their own things.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about it.
The guy is nuts. Okay.
Okay.
Tilt Tiger. Okay.
Listen, hey, I don't want to comment about any other streamer. It's not easy to stream as it is, so
yeah, it's tough.
We'll just respect whatever the guy does, and hey, everybody has their style. I guess we'll leave it at that.
CB's number one tonight on the what is that called? The XP points. All right.
So enough on that. Let's not talk negatively about anybody. Last thing I need is hate on this channel.
Yeah. XP. It's something YouTube started doing a while back where it kind of gives us a score on let's see, what's my score? Hold on a second. On how much we interact with the channel. I don't have a darn score. Huh.
Well, today, I mean, we're in the middle, man. There's
Nada. Well, get some sleep, buddy. You got an early morning, and I'll try to wake up on time.
What time is it? 9:30. Wow, time flies. Session. Definitely chit-chatted away today with no trades. But that's the calm before the storm. Tomorrow, I'm sure we'll be taking some trades after PPI, so we'll see how it goes. Tonight was a slow night and fiddling in the middle. I think that is it for tonight.
All right, 77 folks still here. Hit that like button as we say our good nights.
PR77, my style is chicken.
Yeah, me too. I chicken out of every trade.
Oh man, yeah, I think 3 hours today. 3 hours of yapping away. So I appreciate you all. If you are new to the stream and you like the content, you gotta like the content. Don't just like for no reason. If you like the content, smash that like, smash that subscribe. We'll be back. Jesse is our guest tonight, and he'll be on here, I think, more frequently, but we're bringing some more guests as well. Monday through Thursday, 9:15 p.m. Eastern, when this market decides to move. Or finally, might have to take a look at our friend Nikki or Nikkei, and gold probably moving a lot more than NQ. And for the New York session traders, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Nasty NASDAQ PPI tomorrow. Appreciate you all. Thank you, Jesse. Who's on? Let's give a quick little rundown of everybody that's on right now. Let's see. Lambo, Jeff, Chad, CB, PR77. My blast from the past, PR77. Good to see you here. Crypto Walk. Who else? Brett. Anybody else I'm missing here in the last couple of hours? Jeff, Abe Baker. Appreciate you all. Jesse, are you still on?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just letting you do your thing.
Okay. All right, guys. Have a good night. Jesse, as always, man, thank you. I think you bring a lot of good value, and you're taking the technical approach. So hopefully you guys are seeing the value of having Jesse on and some of the future traders as well. Maximum strength. Have a great night. Thank you to everybody. Jesse, thanks again. See you guys tomorrow or tomorrow night. Later, Jess.
See you, bud.